It's Semifinal Friday here at the XL Energy Center. Good morning, everybody. We've got the Class A semifinals kicking off this morning. This two great matchups. We'll start off with St. Cloud Cathedral against East Grand Forks coming up in about 15 minutes from now. Hi, everybody. Along with Nate Olson, Matt Harrington, Pete Wagner, Todd Mulliken here at the XL Energy Center. I'm Patrick Lilia. Happy to be with you once again this morning. So this morning we got this interesting matchup between the Crusaders and the Green Wave, the 2 and 3 matchup respectively between these two teams. We talked about a little bit before the game in the Hock Dish podcast about the way these two teams match up. The Crusaders looked a lot like a machine in that game that we saw them on Wednesday morning against North Branch. And East Grand Forks, a little bit more of a gritty team. They got a lot more production out of a lot of different players. We looked at it as kind of a machine against wrench type matchup.
Yeah, you know, you've got St. Cloud Cathedral who's been dominant all year long. Actually, Noah Amundsen in net, 25-0-0 this season, and so he has not been beaten here, and he'll get the starting goal for the Crusaders. And they just have depth throughout their lineup. They've got a ton of skill. They love to transition the puck wide. They really do a good job of getting a forward screaming up the ice wide and trying to stretch the ice and then create odd man rushes and 2-on-1s all over the ice, which is ultimately the goal of scoring goals in hockey, is finding some 2-on-1s and executing them. So it should be an interesting game here to see how East Grand Forks tries to kind of physically slow that transition game down for the Crusaders. And looking forward to it here. The XL Energy Center starts to fill up here, and we generally get an excellent crowd for the semifinal Friday for the Class A. So people are over at the Let's Play Hockey Expo and filing themselves in here for the first semifinal of the day.
Just to recap how things went down on Wednesday afternoon, St. Cloud Cathedral defeated North Branch by a score of 7-0, buoyed by 5 second period goals as they cruised down to win that one. East Grand Forks had a little bit of a tougher time in the middle there against Minnesota River as Jade Reichs drew the Bulldogs back from 3-0 and to get within 3-2. But then Landon Parker took over early in that third period. Parker scoring those 2 goals a minute 9 apart that restored the 3-goal lead for the Green Wave. They would go on to win that game 5-2.
Yeah, and that was a really good turning point for them. They got the shorthanded goal from Parker early in the third, and then Parker stormed down on a breakaway, a little miscommunication on a change, it looked like, for the Bulldogs. And so it was a good job of them to kind of get back in control of things and take care of business, and that's what good hockey teams do. They're going to, you know, if you give the other team a little bit there, they're going to do a good job of getting back in control, getting back to what they're trying to accomplish, and taking care of what they wanted to do.
From the afternoon session coming up, about half an hour after this one completes, we'll have the 1-4 game. It'll be the Matamidi Zephyrs against the number 4 Greenway Raiders. And Matamidi, they cruised to a fairly easy win. They knocked off New Ulm 6-0, in which they totaled more than 50 shots on goal. They had more than a 40 shots on goal edge by the time that the game ended. Really, the Zephyrs just did what they wanted in that game. The only thing that really got in the way was that stellar goaltending from Jack Raymond. But really, it was their game from the moment the puck dropped, and they owned it.
Yeah, they were definitely in control, and another team similar to St. Cloud Cathedral that has depth throughout the lineup and really prefers to play a fast-paced transition hockey game, and they really handled New Ulm. New Ulm wasn't able to keep up with their speed, and didn't do a very good job cleaning up pucks in front. And Matamidi, who's an excellent offensive hockey team, they're going to take care of rebounds in front. You're going to give them second chance opportunities. They're going to put them in the back of your net. And so later today, that's what Greenway is going to have to try and do, is lock down the middle of the ice, especially in the neutral zone and in their own end, and then just take care of the second chances. They'll make the first save. Logan Wright will be in net for the Raiders. Just stay with it. Stay in your own end. Take care of business there, and then push offensively when you get the chance to. So, and there's some extremely talented kids on that Greenway team. I mean, a couple of St. Cloud State commits on there. So, I mean, going to be a fun day of hockey here, and that's just the first 2 of the game. We're also going to have for you tonight in the Class AA semifinal games, the 2 and 3 seeds, the Blaine Bengals and the Eden Prairie Eagles take on each other at 6 o'clock, and then Edina, the Hornets, take on St. Thomas Academy, the 4 seed, and that game will be shortly after the first game. Again, that starts about 6:20 here tonight on mnhockey.tv.
So moving to that Class AA, certainly yesterday, we had 4 pretty good games to really great games if you want to look at Eden Prairie against Lakeville South. It looked like Eden Prairie was going to walk away with that one fairly handily the way that first period went, but Lakeville stood in there and really, despite the loss, the player of the game really had to have been Henry Welsh in goal for Lakeville South.
Oh, he was phenomenal, and it got to that point where is this game ever going to end? And we found out there that they were, 45 seconds from having to pause that game and replay it at 8 a.m. this morning, which is a new rule and something we actually chatted about a little yesterday is how, it hasn't happened where the second game of a day, so the second game of the morning session, has gone real long like that to then throw off what you've got planned for the evening session. So it was kind of an oddity that Eden Prairie ended up taking care of finally, but heck of a game for Mr. Welsh. He was just phenomenal, had been all year long, and on the biggest stage he showed out and gave the Cougars a great chance. And ultimately, as we talked about, good teams generally just find a way to win, and the Eagles just got it done.
Another good team who found a way to win yesterday was Edina, who I feel like the theme yesterday was, again, looked like the Hornets were in firm control of that one, but Moorhead fought back, and the Spuds were within one late in the third period for a couple of late goals, put that one away.
Yeah, and that's what's fun is you've got such good hockey teams here, so you get a couple goal lead. It's not like the game's over. It's a fun atmosphere. It's a fun time because you're playing with playing against some of the best teams in the state, and there's a reason they're here. And as we continue to move forward in this tournament, we're going to see the cream rise to the top, and so it's been a fun tournament so far, and looking forward to bringing you all of the semifinals here for both the Class A and Class AA today.
With Pete and Bart will be with you on those AA finals later on today. Now, for right now, you're stuck with Nate and me back here in the booth.
Yeah, we appreciate you tuning in here, and hopefully if you're at work or whatever, we can kind of make it a nice Friday here, a few hours of hockey to listen to and create that picture of a beautiful XL Energy Center with the MSHSL logo at center ice and the 75th tournament here. We've got that special logo down there, and just a special time here, and all the youngsters we see throughout the crowd looking to look up to the kids that they want to be someday. Just nothing better.
Absolutely. So this is the first time that I've had the chance to be a broadcaster at this tournament, and I've attended a couple. I had a couple near misses with being asked to be able to help out here, and it's really a dream come true to really finally be able to say that I'm, up in the broadcast booth, being able to hang out, watch all these, great games, great players, and the great atmosphere with the fans. Especially when I arrived on Wednesday morning, just a seas of red waiting to get in to support the North Branch Vikings. And then, of course, the nightcap. We sat about 5 sections full of Greenway fans. That was probably the largest contingent of the day were the Greenway fans who were making their return to the tournament after 18 years away, and all the things that have gone on with them on the ice and off the ice. We also want to talk about some of the difficulties in the life of the star Dante Lawson involving his family member at the kidney transplant. But he has really been he's been the guy. If you want to go back to the game against Hermantown, if you look at he had the 2 goals, 2 assists of 4 total points in the comeback win on Wednesday night. Remember, it was 2-0 Delano. It was 3-1 Delano. Delano punched back, made it 4-3 once again after the game was tied there in the third period. But Lawson and Greenway just kept responding, and they gutted it out.
Yeah, Lawson's a heck of a hockey player, and man, was he good in that hockey game. And Trombley did a really good job too. He kind of had a slow start for him. He was still effective a lot of the times when he was on the ice, but really got his game picked up as that game went on. And in the second and third period, he really was a difference maker as well. And there is going to be a lot of Greenway green in here today, I think. This is the biggest game that Greenway's had in a very, very long time, and it's just incredible to see their community support. And excited for them. It's a fun spot for that community to be in, and it helps kind of rejuvenate some hockey on the range.
Absolutely. So if you look at the overall tournament, of course, there were 2 newcomers. There was only 1 team making a repeat appearance, that being the Matamidi Zephyrs, who we'll see in the game after this one. Certainly, I think just a lot of that. There was a lot of fresh in this tournament, I think, would be what a lot of people might say. That with no Hermantown. The defending champion Orono did not make it either, as the Crusaders take the ice, and you can hear their contingent. Their contingent on the side below our broadcast booth. Now the Green Wave take the ice as well. Now, what are your final thoughts on this matchup coming up?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how the defensemen from St. Cloud Cathedral really get involved offensively, as well as how they handle the physicality that the Green Wave are going to bring in the offensive end of the ice. So when the Green Wave are forechecking, they're going to be hitting guys hard, and they're going to feel it every time they're touching pucks. And if you're the Green Wave, you just got to stay simple. Try and keep the pace in your control. Be smart. Stay on the defensive side of things. Be smart in the neutral zone particularly. Be aware that they're going to try, the Crusaders are going to try and get that puck real wide and get speed. And try and stretch the zones and stretch the ice. Just be aware of that. If you're the defenseman for the Green Wave, Trey Osmus, we talked about how Coach Palmisano wants him to make sure he's responsible on his own end of the ice. He's a key maker here too, because he's going to get involved in the rush and make some plays. But he also has to be responsible defensively, because he's facing a team that wants to transition and wants to jam the puck right down their throat.
Turn things over to the PA address announcer momentarily. What do you think of the keys, though, to just in one or two semifinals? We're going to turn it over right now as the teams will be introduced.
Tournament. Today's game is a Class A semifinal between the champions of Section 8 with a record of 21-8. The East Grand Forks Green Wave, and the champions of Section 6 with a regular 25-4, the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, let's meet East Grand Forks. Starting in goal, senior number 1, Tucker Brown. On defense, senior number 2, Luke Vanish. And senior number 4, Ethan Treble. On the wing, senior number 7, Carter Beck. Senior number 8, Jake Jelly. And starting at center, senior number 19, Tanner Mack. And the remainder of the Green Wave, the assistant coaches are Scott Oliver and Nick Bowen. Head coach Tyler Palmisano. Now let's meet St. Cloud Cathedral. Starting at goal, senior number 30, Noah Amundsen. On defense, junior number 2, Reed Bogenholm. And sophomore number 4, John Bell. On the wings, junior number 8, Nate Warner. Junior number 27, Blake Perbix. And starting at center, junior number 20, Jack Smith. The assistant coaches are Ron Brown and Tom Bruce. Head coach, Derek Brown. Here are the officials assigned for today's game. On the line sits Drew Walters of Hibbing, John Benoit of Duluth. Your game referees, Todd Plackner of Bovee, Nick Biondich of Hermantown. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you all please stand, remove your hats, and face the flag, and join the East Grand Forks Band under the direction of Stacy Searle as they lead us in our national anthem. Starting lineup is brought to you by Holiday Station Stores. Again, the winner of this game is back here tomorrow at noon to play the winner of our second game between Greenway and Matamidi. Loser of this game will be back here at XL tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
As they finish with the announcements regarding the start of the game and what will happen following the conclusion of this one. As that's one more time, what do you think are the keys to this game?
Yeah, you know, if you're East Grand Forks, you've got to keep the things under control. So keep people in front of you. You got your forwards that are going to try and be flying for the Cathedral Crusaders. Keep them in front of you. Keep them outside. Don't give up the high-quality opportunities that they're going to look for by stretching the ice. And if you're Cathedral, play your game. Transition, let your defensemen get involved. Let your high forwards cover as they need and join the rush. And this is their moment. This is the goal they've had. This is their hashtag unfinished business. That's what they're here for. They're here to finally take care of it and to get to their ultimate goal, winning the state tournament. They've got to play their fast transition hockey game, let their D-men really facilitate and get those talented forwards pucks and score some goals. And so that's what Cathedral's going to try and accomplish here, and they're not going to be able to get to that goal unless they win this semifinal game here today.
Tucker Brown in goal once again for East Grand Forks. Noah Amundsen in goal for St. Cloud Cathedral. No surprises there, both stellar goalies. East Grand Forks in their road greens with the burgundy or the red and white trim. They'll be going from left to right here in this first period. St. Cloud Cathedral in the home yellows with blue numbers, blue trim. They'll be going from right to left as we're now underway. 16:55 to go here in the first period. The puck being dumped in down deep by Smith into the East Grand Forks zone. It'll be played around back to the far side by Ethan Treble for the Green Wave. If the Green Wave bring it back to the near side in the neutral zone, then chip down in deep. It'll work its way around the net. Jake Jelly chipping that one in deep as Tanner Mack slows it down behind the net. Mack able to fight his way through a couple of checks, and now the Crusaders able to poke it down to the near side. Have the Crusaders and John Bell take control. Bell flips this one back out into the neutral zone, but this will go off a stick. And the Green Wave play it back deep into the Crusader zone. Work its way up into the far side corner as here come the Crusaders back the other way as Jackson Savoy collects it. Savoy brings it down to the near side, and early on we're already seeing some of this physical play from these Green Wave players as they generate a turnover in the zone. Able to hold that one in as Josh Nelson for the Green Wave as the Crusaders will play this one up into their bench, and we'll have a face-off with 15:59 to go in the first period. No score.
Yeah, Green Wave doing an excellent job on their first shift of the game here, establishing kind of what they're trying to do here, and didn't turn any pucks over there and got the puck into the zone and made Cathedral work a little bit, hit a few bodies on the way, so establishing what they're trying to do.
The face-off to the right of Amundsen was won by the Green Wave. A shot was blocked. The Green Wave able to hold the zone momentarily now. Played out. Now will be chipped in deep by Nelson as the Crusaders set up behind their net, played around to the near side. This one out of the reach of Talon Lenzen. This one back into the neutral zone. The Green Wave, though, able to push it right back in deep once again. So the Green Wave doing a good job early of not letting Cathedral get out of their own zone. As Brandon Anderson for the Green Wave trying to send this one back in deep. A good job this time by St. Cloud Cathedral of keeping it out in the neutral zone, though, but the Green Wave able to send it right back in once again. It works its way down to the near side corner. As the Crusaders able to get it out to neutral ice. Back to pick it up deep in his own zone is Logan Spencer for the Green Wave. Spencer will play it around to the near side corner in the East Grand Forks zone. It works its way to the blue line. Centering feed collided with something. It pops free. It comes free. There's a shot that's saved by Brown. Rebound. Able to be pushed up into the corner. As the Green Wave able to flip this one all the way through, it'll work its way down into the Crusader zone. The Crusaders again having to go pick it up deep in their own end. As Reed Bogenholm trying to push it out of the zone, but then Luke Vanish for East Grand Forks dumps it right back in deep. Bell for the Crusaders able to get it down to the near side. Here's Bogenholm up the near side, boards into the offensive zone, but he takes a hit from Vanish, loses control of the puck. And the Green Wave able to reset, get it back out of their own zone. There's a good job. Here's Mack. Oh, what a move to get around a defender. And he's able to swat it away around Jack Smith, able to hold the offensive zone for the Green Wave as the puck ends up behind the Crusader net, works its way up into the corner. Bell will play it out to the point, held in by the Green Wave. There's a shot that's blocked. And here come the Crusaders into the offensive zone. Here's Nate Warner. Warner, who had a hat trick in the game against North Branch. Centering feed loose in front of Brown. Didn't really find anybody. The Green Wave able to pick it up. He sent down to the near side. It's intercepted into the offensive zone. Here's Smith. Smith, he scores! Jack Smith off the turnover. Into the offensive zone all alone. It's 1-0 St. Cloud Cathedral.
And a tough turnover there for the Green Wave. Tried to stretch the ice across. Picked off, as you mentioned, by Smith. Smith came down and got Tucker Brown just a touch off of his angle. He came down the left-hand side just from inside the top of the circle there. The left-handed shot, Smith puts that one high on the blocker side. Water bottle pops up a little bit there. Beautiful shot by Smith. And it's a 1-0 lead here for the Crusaders. That's a tough deal right there for the Green Wave, because they played so well early. They had one bad turnover, and a great team like Cathedral is going to capitalize that, and sure happened right there with Mr. Smith.
29th goal this season for Jack Smith. That comes at the 3:04 mark of this first period. And St. Cloud Cathedral off to the races already. They lead at 1-0 on the goal by Smith. And here they come right back in again. Savoy with a shot that'll go wide as Osmus trying to get this one out for the Green Wave. They'll get it out to neutral ice. Here they come into the offensive zone. That centering feed, they tried to set up Cole Avery on the back door, but his centering feed was blocked. Here comes Cathedral with speed back into their offensive zone. Osmus trying to get out of the corner, but he's got two Crusader players down there. St. Cloud Cathedral will be unable to hold the zone as they'll dump this one back in deep. Osmus with it deep in his own zone for the Green Wave. Osmus brings it out to neutral ice as it's played down deep into the Crusader zone. It'll work its way around behind the net. It'll be almost taken away behind by Cooper Holm. Or rather, that's Carson Schlenk, my apologies. It ends up in that far side corner, and now it works its way back behind the net once again. Here come the Crusaders the other way. Nolan Whitman gets this one out to center ice. Oh, what a move. It's working its way in. It's Schmidt. Schmidt centering feed, sneaks through the blue and comes all the way back to the near side. There's a shot that's blocked. Centering feed, loose out front. Still being poked at. The Green Wave having trouble clearing it, and now they will get it back out to neutral ice. And here they come the other way. And bit of a penalty coming here, or a puck up into the bench.
Yep, that puck there, he tried to pass it along the boards and chip it into an area, and got a little high into the Cathedral bench. First TV timeout of the first period. 12:38 remaining. The Cathedral Crusaders from St. Cloud lead 1-0 here on mnhockey.tv.
Oh, Jack Smith putting the Crusaders up 1-0. He had that beautiful play in the neutral zone to generate that turnover. Came in all alone and ripped it past Tucker Brown to make it 1-0 in favor of the Crusaders.
Yeah, and showing a little bit Smith there was of how he's a Minnesota Duluth commit. He'll be playing for Scott Sandlin here in the next couple of years. So,
just want to pass along one note. Having a little bit of technical issues here. Having an issue with our scoreboard. It is 1-0 in favor of St. Cloud Cathedral. Working on getting that live scoreboard display fixed for you. So we apologize for some of the technical difficulties that we have had this week here at the XL Energy Center. We thank you for sticking with us. The teams start to break out of their TV timeout huddles.
East Grand Forks has to settle down a little bit here. They're starting to throw pucks a little bit. Get back to your game. It's just a shot here. They're only down one. It's okay. And stay simple. They were playing really well there. They gave up the one goal and on a bad play, but go out and make the next play a good one.
As the center ice face-off, like Mack might be getting kicked from the face-off circle for the Green Wave, or perhaps not, as blew the whistle and they held up play a little bit, and now they will be ready to drop the puck, and it's controlled by the Crusaders in their own zone. Whiffing on it is Bell, but Bell able to get it back out to neutral ice as the Green Wave able to force this one back in deep. It'll work its way behind the Crusader net as it's forced up into the corner. Blake Perbix has it for the Crusaders, and he gets it out to neutral ice. Here's Warner into the offensive zone, 2-on-1. Just missing Smith on the redirect feed as it comes down to the near side, and it would have been a very dangerous play there as well, as the Crusaders really had that set up well, but the pass just a little bit as it ends up out in front of Amundsen, and Amundsen having to dive on it.
Yeah, and that was a nice job there in the Green Wave to get some pucks to the net, create a little bit of extracurriculars there as they're fighting for a little bit of pride in front of the St. Cloud Cathedral goaltender's net. Noah Amundsen. Looks like they're going to go all the way down here on the draw.
The puck played with a high stick, most likely, would be my guess then as to the Off the offensive zone face-off for Cathedral, the Crusaders control. There's a shot, they score! As it's deflected into the net by Ethan Cumming on the second chance. It's 2-0 Crusaders.
Beautiful job there by Cumming. He was aware of where that puck went. The puck went high to the point. He got his stick on it and completely redirected it. Actually kind of got that puck to pop up into the air and kind of floated over the goaltender, Tucker Brown, of the East Grand Forks Green Wave. And just like that, Cumming makes it 2-0 here. And East Grand Forks has to take a deep breath and just settle back down. All it was there was a lost draw. CJ Zins for the Crusaders does an excellent job getting that puck to the front of the net and stick on the ice. Ethan Cumming makes this game on a nice redirection, 2-0.
Goal coming at 5:01 here of the first period. Well, St. Cloud Cathedral off and running so far. They've got 2 goals that just missed on that 2-on-1 a moment ago as well with Smith and Perbix. My goodness. Yeah, the face-off pushed up in front of the Cathedral bench. The Crusaders dump it in deep to the Green Wave zone as Brown will just hold on to this one. Offensive zone face-off coming for St. Cloud Cathedral with 11:48 to go in the first period.
Yeah, another offensive zone draw here for the Crusaders, and we saw what happened last time they had a draw down here, a win and a goal right after.
Yeah, Savoy wins the draw to kick it back to the point. There's a shot that's blocked through the middle, and the Green Wave able to get it back to the blue line, but not out. Savoy will end up with it up in the corner for the Crusaders as he works it around to the near side, kicks it back to the point, and then sent up to the far side. Is Cumming slowing it down in the circle with centering feet intercepted and cleared back out to neutral by the Green Wave. Comes the Green Wave into the offensive zone, working his way down into the corner, and taking a hit is Osmus. Osmus out in front, and this one just gets swept away at the last moment by the Crusaders. The Green Wave able to hold, and then this one just out of the reach on the back door of Avery. Avery had come free on the stick side of Amundsen. As the Green Wave again able to hold. For a shot through traffic, that'll go up off into the netting. That was Logan Spencer who let that one go from the near side point. We'll have an offensive zone face-off. Actually might be a neutral zone face-off. I don't know if that hit any of the Crusader players. They're going to actually have it in the offensive zone.
Yeah, important draw here for the Green Wave. Got to win this and establish a little bit more zone time.
Face-off still loose in the circle as Bell able to push it behind the net for the Crusaders. Bell trying to gain possession of it now for Cathedral. Look at this one up ahead. It's heading down to the ice and taking a spill was Cooper Holm, and quickly back into the offensive zone to St. Cloud Cathedral. They'll play it from behind the Green Wave net. And the Green Wave looking to break out back the other direction. Jackson Gallstad, who had the first goal of the game against Minnesota River, he'll ring this one around the Cathedral net. It'll work its way back up high in the zone, able to be held in by the Green Wave. Centering feed able to be redirected back out into the neutral zone where the Green Wave will send it back in deep. Bell will pick it up there for St. Cloud Cathedral. Bell will try to get it out to neutral ice. As Cathedral getting tied up in front of the boards, they'll play it down to the near side. It's intercepted by the Green Wave and then dumped in deep by Vanish. Vanish actually will take a high shot that'll go up into the netting.
Yeah, and the Green Wave doing a better job now of trying to get pucks deep and being able to use their physicality, as we mentioned, to start putting bodies on Crusaders on their forecheck. And so they just got to settle back down. Somebody's got to get the first goal for the Green Wave. It's 4-2 shots on net in favor of Crusaders. Get a few more pucks to the net.
And the Crusaders able to clear on the face-off. The Green Wave send it, though, back in deep. Here's C.J. Zins with it for the Crusaders. He works his way into the neutral zone. Zins will dump this one in deep to the Green Wave zone. It'll work its way up into the far side corner where Warner took a hit before he could gain possession of it. The Green Wave end up with the puck. Get it back out to neutral ice where it's tipped into the offensive zone by Jake Jelly. As the Green Wave battling along the far side boards, able to be held in at the point in front of the bench, and now the Crusaders able to take it away. Here's Warner trying to get it up to Perbix. Warner will end up with it. Then he'll lose control of the puck in the offensive zone after he takes a big hit. The Green Wave retake possession, throw it back out to neutral ice, and flip it down deep into the Crusader zone. Oh, what a good move there by Avery as he was trying so hard to get control of that puck. It's Bell battling down there for the Crusaders as well. It'll be kicked back out to the point by the Green Wave as the centering feed is blocked, and Osmus unable to hold the zone. Osmus having to bank it off the boards back into the Crusader zone. Crusaders play this one out through neutral all the way back into the Green Wave zone for an icing. We'll have an offensive zone face-off for East Grand Forks. 9:03 to go in the first period. 2-0 St. Cloud Cathedral.
Yep, we're at the TV timeout here, and the Green Wave doing a better job starting to establish zone time. Now what they need to do is actually get pucks to the net. So only 2 shots on goal here, almost 8 minutes into this first period of play for the Green Wave, and they've only given up 4 to the Crusaders, so they are doing a pretty good job. Just 1 bad turnover and a great face-off win and tip that goaltender Tucker Brown had no option or no choice on. He just kind of, that one's going to get by you if it executes the tip. So probably down there talking right now, Coach Palmisano, just get back to the simplicity of East Grand Forks hockey. Get pucks in, forecheck hard, get some bodies on the Cathedral Crusader guys, and go to work. And Derek Brown up there continuing to let his team know. You can just see he's enthusiastic down there. Let's keep pushing, keep working, keep moving. He wants to continue to build off of the success that their transition games had so far.
Now the teams break the TV timeout. We'll have an offensive zone face-off for East Grand Forks. 9:03 to go in the first period. It's 2-0. St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead. Smith and Cumming with the goals for the Crusaders thus far in the game. A beautiful takeaway by the Crusaders in the neutral zone, setting up Smith in all alone for the first goal, and then Cumming with that sort of awkward pop-up shot that just found its way over Brown for the second goal.
Yep, and we got to give Cumming the credit. That was a beautiful tip, too.
Waiting to drop the puck here as we're now back underway. Bell controls for the Crusaders. He pushes up to the far side corner. Is able to be held in, is unable to clear on that one was Bogenholm, and a long shot from the point by Osmus will result in another offensive zone face-off coming here with 8:55 to go in the first period.
And we're seeing the importance right now of these face-offs. Opportunities on both ends of the ice coming right directly off of those draws.
Here come the Crusaders. They win the face-off. They get it down to the near side into the offensive zone as Widman. Widman trying to work his way around Nelson. He couldn't quite do it. As the puck gets tied up behind the net, the Green Wave with it there. They send it down to Gallstad. Gallstad had his long pass blocked. Here's Nelson into the offensive zone, but he comes in offside.
Yeah, just one stick handle too many there for Nelson, and a neutral zone draw right in front of Derek Brown and the Crusaders bench. 8:34 to go here in the first period of play. A lot of whistles here early, not a ton of flow.
Yeah, the neutral zone face-off controlled by East Grand Forks and then tipped right back into their zone as we pass the midway point of this first period, and then taken away by Warner, but it's going to be a penalty coming against St. Cloud Cathedral.
Yeah, and that's going to be an unfortunate one. It did look like he actually stepped on the puck and went down there, the Green Wave player that went to the ice, but nonetheless, Warner's going to go to the box here. 2 minutes for a trip. The time of that penalty is at the 8:34 mark, and so a golden opportunity here for the Green Wave, who do have an excellent power play to hopefully generate some offensive momentum and maybe pop one in and strike back and cut this lead in half.
As the Green Wave control the offensive zone face-off, kicked up to the far side point, now high up in the zone. Here's Spencer with it. Spencer working his way. It looks like a shot through the middle. Lewis in front of Amundsen. Amundsen is down, and he's able to get on top of it.
Yeah, that was tipped there, and kind of a little bit of a great awareness out of Amundsen to figure out where that puck was. Initially, it looked like he struggled just a little bit to kind of locate where that thing was, and he was kind of bouncing around there. A great screen and a great tip that actually the tip hit Carter Beck from the Green Wave, who was the one that tipped it. It kind of tipped it into his chest and rolled around, and the puck bounced on net. Amundsen covered up, so the Lions were going to kick both of these centers out. They were getting a little bit physical with their sticks there prior to the drop.
The face-off to the right of Amundsen, cleared or sent around to the near side, but able to be held in by Vanish in the offensive zone for the Green Wave. Vanish with it at the point. Vanish will kick it down to Mack on the near side. Mack will rip a shot into the glove from the near side circle.
Yep, and Max generated a few opportunities now, and Amundsen tall to the task there and keeping things under control. His rebound control has been excellent here halfway through period one.
As the Green Wave accidentally pushed this face-off all the way back deep into their zone, they're going to have to go the full length of the ice. 1:28 to go in the Green Wave power play as they look to break out from behind their own net. They'll get it up ahead toward the neutral zone. They'll play this one ahead, bringing it into the offensive zone, and then getting tied up on the near side. It comes loose in front of Avery, who tries to backhand it. You got Parker, who is down there as well, and the Crusaders able to clear the length of the ice once again.
Yeah, nice job by Perbix to pick that puck up in front of his own net and send it 200 feet, make the Green Wave go and chase that thing and break it out.
As Osmus plays it down to the near side. It was a beautiful bank pass as Avery gets it behind him to Jelly, or rather Parker. Parker gets tripped up a little bit. Osmus able to hold the zone, is getting tied up, trying to enter the circle. Here's Widman trying to force it back the other way for St. Cloud Cathedral. It'll be poked up toward the bench. It looked like it almost made contact with the Grand Forks bench, but we continue play. 40 seconds to go in the Green Wave power play. Here they come back into the offensive zone. There's a shot, they score! Power play goal for Trey Osmus. It's a 2-1 game.
Oh, and the freshman, we've talked about how he's so gifted offensively, and he just picks that puck up on the left point, and he rolls down the left-hand side and absolutely fires a missile into the top corner that beat Amundsen, and he makes this game 2-1 with a power play goal, and just a beautiful chance there. He just got a nice little feed, cut out to the outside, changed the direction of his puck just a little bit, shot the bow and arrow all the way to center ice. A fun time for the freshman to cut the lead in half, and here we go. East Grand Forks, that should give them a little bit of momentum and start their push back now.
That goal coming at the 10:01 mark of the first period. 6:59 to go here in the first as the Green Wave now take the lead in the shots on goal, 5-4. 2-1 St. Cloud Cathedral maintaining the lead. 9th goal of the season for Trey Osmus, getting East Grand Forks on the board. They trail at 2-1. As the Green Wave control the face-off as they send it down to the near side, as Dahlstad trying to send this one in deep to the Crusaders zone. It'll be picked up there by the Crusaders and Nate Martin as they try to get this one back out to neutral ice, and it'll be sent in offside as it made contact with one of the Green Wave players. We'll have a neutral zone face-off, 6:42 to go here in the first period.
First in the tournament, scored by number 20, Trey Osmus. Assist, number 9, Landon Parker, and number 12, Josh Nelson.
That's Osmus from Nelson and Parker. Goal coming at 10:01 of this first period as we're back underway here. As Beck trying to clear the zone for the Green Wave, and he can't quite do it, and now trying to be sent back the other direction by Ethan Treble. This one will sneak all the way back down into the Crusader zone. The Crusaders trying to reset with Bogenholm. Bogenholm gets it back out to neutral ice. It goes off the stick of Warner and then sent back in deep to the Crusader zone up in that far side corner. The Crusaders and Perbix trying to get this one ahead to Smith. Smith passed for Warner in the neutral zone, and will be intercepted and sent back the other direction by the Green Wave. As the Crusaders will set up again deep in their own zone with Bogenholm. Bogenholm with a long pass into the neutral zone as they get it to Hillman on the far side. Hillman, though, has the puck taken away from him as it's sent back out to the near side boards. Now sent back the other direction by Talon Lenzen. Still loose in the neutral zone as the Crusaders able to pick it up there. As Hillman gets it back and sends it into the neutral zone. The Green Wave doing a great job now of not letting these Crusaders players start skating with authority as they had been for the first 10 minutes or so of the game, as Avery gets it to Parker. Parker will whip a shot wide. Parker, who had that 2 goals in a minute 9 in the third period of that win over Minnesota River on Wednesday. Really the 2 goals that put that game away, and there's a shot. What a job working his way through there was Carson Schlank. Schlank able to get a couple of shots off. He was able to catch up to one of his own rebounds as well as the Crusaders bring it up the near side boards. Back into the offensive zone is Savoy. Savoy opposed, though, by Nelson as it's sent back out into the neutral zone where the Crusaders will reset once again as Bell brings it up the far side boards, trying to gain the offensive zone. A good job again by the Green Wave. They take it away. Got it down to Gallstead on the near side. Gallstead will play this one in deep. It'll work its way around the Crusader net. It's a hit put on up in the far side corner as Martin gets it back around to the near side for the Crusaders. The puck battle ensues on the near side boards as Gallstead able to hold the zone. He'll get this one back down into the near side corner. 4:28 to go in the period as the Crusaders look to break out. They get this one ahead toward Hildner. Will be taken away by the Green Wave. It'll be sent back the other direction as the Crusaders are able to hold the zone. Number 3, there's a long shot through traffic, and Brown able to find this one. They have an offensive zone face-off coming for St. Cloud Cathedral. 4:12 to go in the first period.
Yeah, and Cathedral finally getting a chance to get some things going in the offensive end of the ice, and Brown makes a nice save there and takes control of the puck, but
we hit our TV timeout. Want to remind you, Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul up to 60% off all merchandise at their Beyond the Puck event tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon. Then hang out with the guys from the Fan at their Beyond the Pond event. Presented tonight by Brew Pub Pizza, lots of mozza, half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. RJM Construction for all of your arena needs, building, remodeling. Check out their work at the Tria Rink and the Hopkins Pavilion. And also by Tradition Companies, 7 companies, 1 solution for all of your home building, buying, and wealth management needs. Check out traditionco.com. Sportsman's Guide, Brew Pub, lots of matzo pizza, RJM Construction, and Tradition Companies. We're so glad we could have you guys along with us here for the tournament. We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth with Nate Olson and Matt Harrington. I'm Patrick Lilia. We've had an exciting first period thus far as it's 2-1 in favor of St. Cloud Cathedral. An offensive zone faceoff coming for the Crusaders here. It'll be to the right of the goaltender, Brown. Yeah, Smith in the faceoff circle for the Crusaders against Mack for East Grand Forks. We're waiting momentarily to resume play. Yes, Perbix with a shot. See, that one got through to Brown, who made the save. Smith, though, controls the rebound. He gets it back to the point, able to hold it in on the back end. Though are the Crusaders. It comes around to the near side. Is getting back out toward the neutral zone. There's a pass into the neutral zone, and bringing it into the offensive zone is Jelly, who lets a shot go, and that'll be snagged with the glove by Amundsen. We'll have an offensive zone face-off for East Grand Forks. 3:51 to go here in the first period.
Yeah, shots on goal, 6 apiece now, and face off to the left, as you mentioned, of Amundsen. Important draw yet again here for both of these teams. A lot has happened off of these face-offs.
2-1, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead as Nelson trying to push the face-off deeper into the zone and coming out with it and for the Green Wave as it's pushed toward the middle of the ice in front of the goaltender, and now the Crusaders able to break out with it, bringing it back through neutral ice is coming, but he loses control of the puck as it's sent down to Cole Avery on the near side for East Grand Forks. He'll dump this one down in deep. Yeah, the Crusaders look to play it up the near side boards, and they got a good bounce. Here they come with speed. There's Bogenholm into the offensive zone with Cumming. Cumming losing control, centering feed, loose out front, and then getting it poked away right at the last second as somebody was winding up for a shot in the yellow jersey. It comes back to the point. There's a shot through traffic, redirect, they score! Cullen Hiltner had worked his way out front and was in perfect position to redirect that one past Brown. It's another 2-goal advantage for Cathedral at 3-1.
Yeah, and Hiltner with an excellent job. Another tip beating Brown here, and that's been a point of emphasis, it looks like, here for Cathedral to get pucks on net from the point. That was John Bell's shot, the left-handed shot. Nice low shot on net. Hiltner with the redirect out in front. And East Grand Forks is going to have to start picking up these guys in front of the net because they're getting sticks on pucks right now, and they're finding the back of the net. It's 3-1 here now.
3:11 to go in the first period. 3-1, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead. 3 different goal scorers thus far for the Crusaders here in this first period. As Osmus with the power play tally for East Grand Forks. That's how the Green Wave got on the board as the face-off ended up being pushed down back deep into the Green Wave zone. Will be an icing and a face-off coming back deep in the St. Cloud Cathedral zone. 3:03 to go in the first period.
Big last 3 minutes here this period, especially for East Grand Forks. East Grand Forks has got to get back to what they do well, and that's just getting pucks deep and forechecking. They got to get more bodies on these Cathedral Crusaders.
The face-off ends up being pushed down to the near side boards, now played around the Crusader net. Centering feed ends up being intercepted by the Crusaders and brought back out to the near side boards. There's a bad angle shot. It's loose in front of Amundsen. He's able to get a hold of it as Cooper Holman let that initial shot go. And you also had Schlenk digging in there as well as Amundsen was trying to gather that one in.
Yeah, Carson Schlenk there doing what he could to try and bury a rebound just on the doorstep, but Amundsen ended up being able to corral that puck. Face off now to his left with 2:51 to go.
Mack will take it against Smith, still loose in the circle. Now Bell trying to poke it ahead for the Crusaders. It's sent down to the near side. Here's Warner into the neutral zone, gets it ahead for Smith. Smith gets knocked off the puck at the blue line, but Warner still able to maintain possession, and then it's loose out in front of Brown, still down, and now Brown able to get on top of it.
Yeah, now the extracurriculars are starting. A Cathedral player looked like Smith just got dumped to the ice, and now down goes a Green Wave player. The officials have done a pretty good job of letting them kind of push the envelope just a little bit and do it in a, hey, there's an initial, and then let's kind of back away type of deal. And looks like no penalties coming out of this, and I'm okay with that. I like that. They talk through it with the guys, kind of let them know, hey, we're done here, we're done. And they understand the stakes are very high here, so.
They're going to move the face-off back out into the neutral zone.
Yeah, so what I'm guessing happened here is the defenseman probably came down for Cathedral into the offensive zone below the circles. And when there's extracurriculars like that, if that happens, the face-off then comes out to the neutral zone. So I'm guessing that the Cathedral defenseman there got a little bit antsy, a little bit involved in the extracurriculars, and that forced the face-off outside.
As the Septic, when face-off was poked up into the Green Wave bench, so we'll have another face-off from the same spot in the neutral zone. 2:31 to go, first period, 3-1. St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead here over East Grand Forks. And the first of our semifinal games today is off the face-off. Savoy with a shot saved by Brown.
Yeah, and Cathedral's got to be careful there. It looked like, Jackson Savoy kind of came in and put a little love tap on Brown's glove, and that puck's already frozen. It was very clearly frozen, a little late, but probably gets a little warning from the official. And in the rule book, it's going to say it doesn't have to be the whistle blown. If the puck's covered and you hack at it, it can be a slash.
Boy, we've just seen in this first period so many different names in production from Cathedral. We've had Smith, Cumming. We've called Savoy's name several times as well. We've gotten Hiltner in on the action as well. Here's a centering feed out front. There's a shot, and that one just goes wide as it had trickled free for Logan Spencer in the offensive zone for East Grand Forks. The Green Wave able to maintain the offensive zone under 2 minutes to go here in the first period as Avery trying to fight for this puck for the Green Wave. Push it back toward the point and it's sent back the other direction by Anderson. The Green Wave able to get it back into the offensive zone and now poke down to the near side in the neutral zone. As the Green Wave send it up to the far side corner and change. Bell with it for the Crusaders. He gets it down to Bogenholm on the near side. Bogenholm sends this one into the Green Wave zone, but sent right back out, and the Green Wave able to play it in deep once again into their offensive zone as Jelly takes a hit behind his net, and Perbix loses control of it, and the Green Wave almost able to get a good centering feed there, but back into the offensive zone is Warner. Warner trying to feed Perbix, but the pass a little bit behind him. Long pass out of the reach of Jelly as the Crusaders able to get it back out to neutral ice out of their own zone. It'll be played by Lenzen down to the near side. We're going to stoppage of play here with 1:02 to go in the first period.
1:02 to go here in this first period, as you mentioned, and Class A semifinal number 1. Cathedral leading 3-1 here over East Grand Forks. Shots on goal, 9-7 in favor of St. Cloud Cathedral.
As Cathedral controls in their own zone, Lenzen plays it around to the far side, and the bad pass intercepted as it came free in front of Cole Avery, and he rips a shot into Amundsen, who holds on.
Yeah, Amundsen got himself out of his net a little bit and was able to really square up and take away all that angle and swallowed that thing up. And nice save there. Avery had a little bit of time in the slot with that puck and put a nice shot on net.
Face off to the right of Amundsen, still loose in the circle, now poked out into the slot, and the Crusaders breaking out quickly through center ice. Here's Hiltner. Hiltner's centering feed, though, was blocked. Now swatted back the other way by the Green Wave, all the way back down deep into the Crusader zones. We're under 40 seconds to go here in this first period. Trying to take this one away out in front was Brody Schultz for East Grand Forks. We'll have an offside as a result, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off with 32.7 to go in the first period.
That was really close. The linesman made a good call there. It did look like it just snuck out of the zone, and unfortunate break for the Green Wave, but
as the Green Wave control the face-off in the neutral zone, they'll play it around. A good job to hold that one out by Bogenholm as it comes back around to the near side. The offensive zone once again come the Green Wave. Mack battling down there as Savoy able to get it back out to the blue line, but Bonish able to hold the zone as Bonish's long pass in front of Jelly, and here come the Crusaders back the other way. Smith into the offensive zone, gets it back to Warner. Warner, though, has his pass intercepted by Beck. We're under 5 seconds to go in the period. as Warner once again ends up with the puck with the period coming to an end. Very productive, wild first period. St. Cloud Cathedral leads it 3-1 after one period. You're listening to mnhockey.tv. And we're going to keep it right here for a little bit. Here at the first intermission, St. Cloud Cathedral leading it 3-1 after this first period. And, you know, certainly I think the testament has been just how good St. Cloud Cathedral is, because East Grand Forks played a great first period, but St. Cloud Cathedral has played that much better.
Yeah, they've been really good. And they did an excellent job taking advantage of the opportunities they were presented. They had a turnover and led to a breakaway, half breakaway, and buried a puck there. And, you know, it's a tough time when you're East Grand Forks, when you've gotten a couple of tip pucks by a couple things that probably should be a little bit more in your control. You want to try and get your wingers up there on the faceoffs to try and take away those shooting lanes, and then just defensively in front of the net, tying those guys up. The two tips that were beat were good tips, but you got to have those guys tied up there, and by failing to do so, they ended up with a couple of tips behind their goaltender, Tucker Brown, and pretty even period relatively, other than on the scoreboard where it's 3-1. Shots on goal, again, were 9 for St. Cloud Cathedral and 8 for East Grand Forks. And a good chance now at the intermission to take a deep breath and try and adjust as they can, and both teams should be kind of settled in here and ready to rock and roll here in about 14 minutes or so.
But what can East Grand Forks do a little bit better? Because we said they played a good first period. They were just having a little bit of trouble. We talked about the Crusaders were doing a great job of getting players in front of the net, just waiting for second chances and deflections and redirects. And it seemed like East Grand Forks was having trouble picking up those guys in front of the net.
Yeah, and I think that's the number one key, is not only in their own end, but actually in the St. Cloud Cathedral end as well. They're losing the battles in front of both nets right now, and that's part of the reason they've only got the one goal on board so far, and it's the big reason that they're down 2 goals in this game. And so we talked a little bit about how the defensemen for the Green Wave really got to do a better job, and even that weak side forward sliding down from the slot. Just have some communication there and understand that whoever's got that man that's in there, take care of them. And if you're Cathedral, continue to try and attack those areas as well, because clearly you're having success there, and they're doing a good job, those forwards from the Crusaders are, of finding the open areas of the ice. And so kind of those dead areas where they're kind of sneaking around and allowing themselves some space to make a tip or receive a pass and get a shot or make the next play. And so doing an excellent job there. If you're Cathedral, you want to keep pushing on that. And East Grand Forks and their offensive end of the ice and the Cathedral end, they've just got to do a little bit better job creating some traffic and getting on top of Noah Amundsen. Amundsen's a phenomenal goaltender that when he sees that first one, he's more than likely going to make the save on the first one. So they've got to try and generate some second chance opportunities and continue to keep pushing and just lock down their own end a little bit.
So we'll keep an eye on that. About 12:20 to go before we resume play. Again, 3-1 St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead. I want to thank once again our sponsors for this afternoon. Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul. They'll have up to 60% off all merchandise at their Beyond the Pond event tomorrow, 10 a.m. to noon, and that'll lead us right into the Class A title game. We got 2 teams looking to be there. One of these teams will be there tomorrow at noon. Right here at the XL Energy Center, we'll find out who their opponent will be. Also presented this afternoon by Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza with half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. RJM Construction for all of your arena building and remodeling needs. Check out their work at the Tria Rink and the Hopkins Pavilion. And Tradition Company, 7 companies, 1 solution for all of your home building, buying, and wealth management needs. Check out traditionco.com. We'll turn our attention briefly to the game that will follow this one, as Matamidi will take on Greenway in the other semifinal this afternoon. Well, certainly we've talked a lot about you don't really want to go as far as calling it a David versus Goliath matchup, because Greenway, of course, the number 4 seed, they've proven that they belong here. They beat Hermantown. They rallied to beat Delano. Certainly a great story. 18 years absent from the state tournament, their first trip since 2001. Certainly, I think the darling of the 4 seeded teams, all 4 of which advanced. We also had all 4 high seeds advance on the AA side as well, I believe. So not a lot of upset material yet in this tournament. It's a lot of great games on the AA side yesterday.
Yeah, and you know, as we look forward to this Matamidi Zephyrs and Greenway Raiders game, it's going to be an excellent opportunity to see a couple of great Class A teams here at XL Energy Center. And you know, one key I'm looking at too as we look into that Matamidi game is Ben Dardis, the goaltender. He's a freshman, but he's phenomenal. .934 save percentage, giving up only 1.7 goals a game. It helps he's got some excellent defensemen in front of him. But man, the depth in that lineup and the depth that they have scoring, you look at names like Nikolai Dulak, Joe Paradise, Tom Paradise, Dylan Lawlier, Colin Hagstrom, Noah Skillings on the back end contributes offensively regularly. I mean, that's a tough lineup to crack. And if you're Greenway, I mean, you got Dante Lawson and Christian Miller, the 2 studs that are headed to college hockey here as their future hockey careers continue to move on. And Logan Wright, that's an interesting battle there. Logan Wright kind of fought the puck early in that first quarterfinal game, on Wednesday evening against Delano. And really once he settled in, that's kind of when the Greenway Raiders did a good job of pushing forward too. So, you know, Logan Wright's a .922 save percentage guy throughout the season, and he did a nice job in that section final beating Hermantown. And once he regained his composure and stopped fighting the puck on Wednesday, he was really, really good late in those last 2 periods for the Raiders. So looking forward to that matchup. A ton of talent, a ton of skill, and some excellent goaltenders, and should make up for a fun second semifinal here on Semifinal Friday at the X.
The AA semifinals tonight as well, coming up. The puck drop about 6:20, and then I would guess somewhere around 8:45 to 9 for the second semifinal. In that one, we'll have Blaine taking on Eden Prairie, followed by Edina taking on St. Thomas Academy. So what jumps out to you on the AA semifinals fell into place as well?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Eden Prairie Blaine game. And you know, one thing I'm interested on is there's a ton of talent and a ton of speed on both of those lineups. But how does Eden Prairie respond after going almost 3 full overtimes and almost 6 full periods yesterday of hockey? How are their legs, and how do they manage the efficiency of their shifts? Do they use the TV timeouts to get guys like Jack Jensen out there more frequently? You know, an important thing to kind of take a peek at. And then Blaine, how far can that top group take them? And you know what? Brodzinski's the name you hear a lot about because he puts the puck in the net. But man, does he have some line mates that really help him out and do such an excellent job digging out pucks and getting him pucks to shoot him in the back of the net. So that top line is fun to watch. They're incredibly difficult to defend, and we'll see if Eden Prairie and Lee Smith's Eagles have an opportunity to slow them down, or what their game plan is there. And you look to the nightcap between the Edina Hornets and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. You've got Edina, whose defensemen were very much in control of that game last night. They did a really good job getting pucks to those just uberly talented forwards that the Hornets have. And St. Thomas Academy played their style of game. The Benellis had it kind of dialed in and did a good job responding to the physicality Duluth East brought to them. And they were excellent in their own end of the ice, and they're going to need to be excellent in their own end of the ice tonight if they want to take down the Hornets, the #1 overall seed.
Absolutely. So a lot of Mr. Hockey candidates to go around tonight. You'll have 2 in the early game of the sessions with Brodzinski and Jensen. You'll have Nevers and Jungles for Edina in the nightcap. So certainly, as you said, there's just so much talent that's going to be on the ice this evening, and it's certainly going to be such a thrill to watch.
Well, and you know, this, I mean, could be the last state tournament game semifinal. Well, it is going to be, but you know, the Benellis have 2 games left as coaches because they're stepping down at the end of this season, and so those kids are going to want nothing more than to send them out on top with a ring. And so that'll be a fun matchup to see too. Just a little bit of animosity between those 2 schools. They're kind of schools that maybe a lot of people in the Metro don't necessarily root for, or not at the top of their list to root for, which is kind of a fun spot to be in if you're those 2 teams. And now they get to battle it out and see which one's representing themselves in the Class AA State Championship, which we will be bringing to you tomorrow night here from XL Energy Center. That puck drop is going to be at 7 p.m. tomorrow night for the Class AA State Championship. And again, the winner of this game that we've got here, St. Cloud Cathedral and East Grand Forks, will meet the winner of Greenway and Matamidi, our game following this one, tomorrow at noon in this Class A State Championship game. And hard to believe we're already ticking down on the back half of this week already. You know, it seems like just yesterday we were dropping the puck at 11 a.m. on Wednesday.
It's so strange because it feels like when you're here, it's a really long day every day. Then just all of a sudden, snap your finger and it's almost over already. And because, of course, the second day that you and I have been here, you and I had that full day on Wednesday. We both got yesterday off. I don't know if you were here or not.
Yeah, I was lucky to spend some time here yesterday as well, and it's Thursday at the state tournament. When I'm not here calling games, it's a fun time for me to network with some other coaches that are around and get to see some faces of competitors throughout the year. And you know, it's a fun kind of tight-knit group of coaches this state's lucky to have. We kind of are all really blessed to be in the community model and get to know each other. And you know, there's a lot of great men that lead these programs throughout the state of Minnesota, and they do it the right way, and they really make this special and really make high school hockey what it's all about. And ultimately, you want to get your team here, and you want to see them succeed at this kind of a level at the XL Energy Center. But number one, you know, the most successful teams are also producing just high-quality young men that are ready to rock and roll for their next step in life, whether it be work, school, military, etc. So that's kind of the fun part for me, and then getting to watch some hockey too. You know, it's kind of a soak it all in and just enjoy it and appreciate how hard these kids are playing, and give them a spot to just kind of cheer them on in their biggest moment of their lives, or what they think it is at this point anyhow. They're going to look back and they'll never forget it, but it'll seem a little minuscule when they start getting married or have kids, etc. But you know, I love the nostalgic feeling, or the nostalgia of just being here and soaking it all in. It's a unique spot. It's special for me. I enjoy watching the kids and how special it is for them, and it drives me to hopefully bring Mankato West Charlottes here next year and let them have this opportunity too.
Absolutely. So when you do get the chance to network with other coaches, do you just kind of pick their brains a bit and learn about, you know, this is kind of what, you know, just kind of gather some ideas about, you know, experiences and, you know, things that worked for them and didn't really work for them, and what they may have done and not done differently, you think?
Yeah, and you know, it kind of is, you get to know them as people a little bit more too. A lot of times you chat when you see a team come into your rink, or you go into their rink and you're talking with them, and it just gives a good idea to kind of, you know, it's funny to hear, but some of the struggles that you think you have with your squad and with your staff, they have the same problems or the same issues too, and you're still dealing with high school kids, and they're all different, but they're all the same at the same respect. So it's kind of nice to hear that piece to it, I guess, and just understand some things and how things work, and you know what kids are moving and shaking. And you talk about, for me, I'm in southern Minnesota, and so being a southern Minnesota guy, talking to a few other coaches, to just hear who the players are that really are trying to bring southern Minnesota to continue to improve it. And we talk a lot about trying to close the gap from southern Minnesota to the metro, you know, just consistency-wise. Some of our top teams in southern Minnesota can compete at a pretty darn high level, and then that depth is continuing to get better. And so how do we continue to grow the game? Are we providing the right opportunities for kids in the spring and summer that allow them accessibility to get on the ice and improve their game, but also give them the flexibility to go out and do other things and be involved in other sports or other activities, which is crucially important. And I think you ask pretty much any coach in the state, they're going to be consistent with that message, that they enjoy it when their kids are doing another sport, or at least involved in another capacity of something. Hockey can't be their whole lives. It's not going to be. Very few of these guys really do go on and win the title and go to the NHL or whatever you want to call it. So,
And as you said, southern Minnesota very well represented here, at least on the A side of the bracket, with Minnesota River and New Ulm both here. So certainly I think there's been a lot of progress in that regard, at least based on how this year went, with those two clubs coming up here for the tournament as the Crusaders retake the ice. About 1:20 to go before puck drop.
Yeah. Big period here for the Green Wave, and the first 5 minutes are going to be crucial. They need to establish their play back again, start being physical and getting pucks on net again, and just clearing out traffic in front of their own net. and creating more traffic in front of the Crusaders net. The 2 goals I think that Coach Palmisano probably touched on a little bit. The number 1 is going to be clearing up those guys in front of his own net, though. You can't keep the puck out of your net by leaving guys open in front. And so that's goal number 1, and I'm guessing Coach Brown wants his Crusaders to stay consistent, continue to do a good job in the face-off dot, and keep pushing their transition game and keep going with speed into that green wave end of the ice.
We'll get the second period underway here momentarily. 3-1. St. Cloud Cathedral will have the lead when we drop the puck. 9-8 shots on goal in favor of the Crusaders. As the teams, of course, will switch sides. East Grand Forks will be going from right to left here in the second period, and the Crusaders from left to right. So, you know, as I think they talk about, that's going to result in some of those longer changes as a result here in the second period.
Cathedral going down to let Noah Amundsen. They're ready to rock and give him a little love. And they're going to play hard in front of him, and here we go on period number 2.
Yes, Treble trying to control the face-off for East Grand Forks. Perbix able to force it into the offensive zone, but the Green Wave able to force it right back out, and will go for an icing and an offensive zone face-off coming for the Crusaders. 16:48 to go in the second period. It's 3-1, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead.
Yeah, and 12 seconds in, we already get a whistle. We had a few whistles early in that first period as well, so hopefully these 2 teams can establish a little flow.
The face-off to the right of Amundsen. They're going to stop play out the puck drop. They're going to do it all over again.
It looked like the linesman wanted a Green Wave player outside of the face-off dot just a little bit.
Vanish, who got a little bit too close, and then there's Mack in there as well. With the Green Wave control played up toward Vanish up in the far side corner. Vanish ships it back out through neutral ice all the way down. As Bell back to pick it up deep in his own zone for the Crusaders. It'll come down to Bogenholm on the near side. Bogenholm will get this one out to neutral ice. It'll work its way through. As Vanish will play this one around from deep in the Green Wave zone. This will go for an icing, and we'll have another face-off deep in the Green Wave zone. 16:24 to go in the second period. 3-1, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead.
Yeah, both teams get a change here, and may not seem like that 36-second shift was very long with a couple whistles in between it, but long change this period, so smart to take changes earlier rather than later.
That's a face-off pushed behind the Green Wave net as Nelson was trying to force it ahead. As getting it out toward neutral ice is Pullman. Mason Pullman, a name we haven't called much yet today. A guy that you really like, Nate, and in our conversations about this game leading up to the Wednesday quarterfinal game involving East Grand Forks. Pullman getting his first, well, really the first time we've called his name.
Yeah, definitely. He's got to kind of pick his game up a little bit, and the youngster's a good player and still learning and still getting better and better every time he steps on the ice. Talented player, though.
That's Savoy sent a shot over the net just a moment ago. Here's Nelson with it for East Grand Forks. He tries to play this one around. Avery setting up Osmus. Osmus is a nice pass up ahead into the offensive zone as it's knocked away to Osmus down on the near side. Osmus rips a shot just wide, looking for his second goal of the game. Yeah, the Crusaders get it back out to neutral ice. Savoy, he gets tied up as it's sent in deep as Parker with it now for East Grand Forks. He'll circle his way around the net. He'll get it to Osmus. Osmus will send it cross ice up to the far side. And here's Pullman on the near side. Pullman will chip this one in on Amundsen, who will make the save on it. Yeah, the Crusaders get it back out toward neutral ice. It's intercepted and sent back in deep by Spencer. As the Crusaders will play it from behind their own net, banked back around to the near side. Yeah, the Crusaders send it back out to neutral ice, and then Anderson dumps it in deep for East Grand Forks. As Bell will chip it back around to the near side for the Crusaders. As Perbix sends a cross-ice pass, trying to get it to Bell, but it deflects back into the neutral zone, or offensive zone, rather. Yeah, the Crusaders trying to set up in the neutral zone as Hiltner chips this one around. It's played around to the near side now by Luke Schmidt. Schmidt battling on the near side circle. Schmidt has it force its way back up through behind the net. Schmidt gets it back to the point, and there'll be a shot that'll see sent wide down to the near side into the corner. as it comes free, and now Spencer comes away with it for East Grand Forks. Spencer working his way through. He'll dump this one down in deep, and the Green Wave will change as they get into the offensive zone. Jelly engaged in a puck battle down there as one of the Crusader players, that was Bogenholm, got knocked to the ice as the Crusaders looking to break out with it. Bell with it in front of his own net. He'll get it into the neutral zone as the Green Wave trying to chip it back in, but the Crusaders get it past Ethan Treble back down into the offensive zone as Vonish gets tied up behind the net for East Grand Forks. Here comes Beck. Beck sends a long cross-ice pass. There's a long shot that'll be gloved and held on to. Rather, there was Mack who started that sequence. Tanner Mack, who had 2 goals in the win on Wednesday over Minnesota River. Haven't really called his name a lot yet as we get the first TV timeout.
Yeah, Jelly with a long shot on net there. Looked like he was at the end of a shift. It could have been a sort of a 3-on-2 that they tried to develop. They didn't quite get it there, though, but we hit the first TV timeout here in period number 2. 13:44 remaining. East Grand Forks with 2 shots this period, and St. Cloud Cathedral with 0 at this point. 10-9 in favor of the Green Wave at this point in the hockey game.
I've never seen East Grand Forks that come out in this period. I think they've tried to be a little bit more physical once again. I think they've tried though to try to load up. They're tried, I think, to play Cathedral's game a little bit more than maybe they would like. We've seen some of those long stretch pass attempts that haven't quite panned out. I don't think they quite have the personnel to do that like Cathedral does.
Yeah, you know, and at times they're going to have to play that game. So right there was actually a good example where they brought that stretch pass wide. It actually opened up a little bit of a 3-on-2 there. But at the same time, you got to pick and choose your spots. I don't think they want to get end-to-end type of game. They've got some speed and some talent, but that's not really how their game works. They're more of a physical, heavy team that can play the transition game from time to time and definitely will take advantage as they can. But they definitely don't want to get into a back-and-forth 3-on-2s both ways type of deal, because that's where St. Cloud Cathedral really thrives.
As Parker able to win the face-off for East Grand Forks, but then the Crusaders able to punch it all the way down as the Green Wave will play it from deep in their own end. Goes up on the near side board. Savoy trying to come out with it, but the Green Wave able to clear it back out to neutral ice. Now Savoy with it for the Crusaders. He'll bring it around the net down to the near side boards as Cumming plays it back behind the net toward Savoy. Savoy engaged in a battle with Nelson on the near side. Savoy will carry it back around the net up to the far side corner. As Cumming almost comes away with it, Osmus able to take it away. Osmus gets it ahead for Poolman. Poolman with a long shot that'll be steered aside by Amundsen. It'll come back around to the near side. As the Crusaders looking to break out. A good job. Tried almost held that one in at the line with that takeaway was Holm as it's sent back down deep into the Green Wave zone once again. As the Green Wave break out, here's Holm up the near side boards. He'll gain the offensive zone. He's got Schlenk behind him. Schlenk with a long shot from the point that'll be held onto by Amundsen.
Yeah, and the Green Wave are starting to put pucks towards the net, and Amundsen swallowing up rebounds at this point. But I like that mentality. They're starting to shoot pucks now. 4 shots already in this second period, and had only 8 in the first period. And so the Green Wave looking to try and get pucks on Amundsen and get some traffic created.
As the face-off will work its way around the Crusader net, it'll be held in at the point. There was a shot by Spencer that was partially blocked and sent back the other direction by the Crusaders. They'll bring it into the offensive zone. Schmidt. Schmidt with a shot that was saved by Brown as it pops up high up in the zone. As the Green Wave able to send this one back through neutral. Bell back to get it for the Crusaders deep in his own zone to send back out now to neutral ice. It's Hiltner trying to get this one ahead toward Martin. As Schmidt will play it in deep to the East Grand Forks zone, and the Crusaders will change. Comes back around to the near side. Here's Beck into the offensive zone. Beck centering feed, and Amundsen able to make a great save.
Wow, what a save there by Amundsen. Beck was able to get that puck to the back door, and really hard play there, and made an excellent pass, weak to the far side there, and right on the doorstep was Jake Jelly, and he just couldn't bury it. Amundsen swallows up that puck. An excellent, excellent save on the back door, and great opportunities here for the Green Wave now. They're kind of rolling here early in the second period. Now they got to get a goal.
As the face-off was cleared back out to neutral ice by the Crusaders, it ends up on the far side boards as a battle ensues. Schmidt trying to come out with it. He'll send a long pass that'll be taken away by Jelly. Jelly springs Mack into the offensive zone. Mack, though, nicely with the puck poked away from him as the Crusaders will end up with it in the far side corner down to the near side. Your Zins. Zins trying to get this one out to neutral ice. Crusaders play this one in for Warner. Warner on the near side will work its way behind the net. The battle with Smith getting tied up with Vanish. Now the Crusaders able to come out with it, and Martin. Rather, that was Warner. Warner comes away with it. Bad angle shot. Second chance blocked, and the Green Wave able to clear it back out all the way through, and will go wide for an icing.
Yeah, nice stick there by Jelly to get that puck out after some trouble. Warner did a good job bringing that puck out of the corner and ripping it on net. Rebound came out, and Smith just missed. The puck looked like it was bouncing a little bit. He took a nice hard shot at it. Puck just bounced on top of his stick. But
face off to the right of Brown as Savoy able to push the face-off out to the point. And what a good work job there by Avery to poke this one all the way back into the Crusader zone. Avery showing off some really good speed there as it's still loose behind the Crusader net. As the Green Wave able to take control in their own zone, and now the Crusaders able to take it back as they'll chip this one down in deep as Cumming throws it up into the far side corner in the East Grand Forks zone. As Bell now back to get it in the neutral zone for the Crusaders. Bell will skate back deeper into his own zone. He'll send a cross-ice pass to Bogenholm on the far side. Into the offensive zone here, Savoy. Savoy will chip this one back behind the net as Nelson plays it around to the near side. The shot from the point that was blocked by the Crusaders. As the Crusaders doing a good job on this sequence of holding the puck in their offensive zone. Savoy battling down there. Also have Hiltner in there as well. Hiltner is trying to get it to Savoy, and they're going to have a hand pass perhaps here.
yeah, I couldn't tell if he was signaling for a rough or a hand pass. It looks like it's going to be a penalty here on Cathedral. And it looks like we're going to see Ethan Cumming going to the box. And again, that's going to be for a rough, and so a power play opportunity here coming for the Green Wave at the 10:05 remaining here in period number 2.
Green Wave 1-for-1 on the power play. Trey Osmus cashing in earlier. As here's Spencer with a shot through traffic. That's saved by Amundsen. It kicks up to the far side boards. Vanish able to maintain possession. Vanish will play it behind the net. Centering feed comes out to Spencer back on the near side. Spencer retreating. He'll work it way high in the zone. He'll bang a pass off the far side boards. Beck, centering feed able to be cleared out all the way down by the Crusaders.
Nice job there by the Crusaders to not give up any grade A opportunities. Kept everything to the outside there and did a good job putting sticks in lanes. The Green Wave going to regroup behind their own net.
Well, Spencer gets it off to Parker. Parker along the far side boards into the offensive zone. Parker centering feed, and that was blocked out front as Preble had worked his way into the middle. Parker gets it back. Parker with Osmus. Gets it to Osmus. Osmus trying to slow it down. He'll take a shot through traffic. Avery out in front as well. As the puck kicked around in front. Turnaround shot. It's loose. Vanish trying to get a shot away, and that was blocked. Vanish will get it back. Vanish winds up for a one-timer by Osmus, and that one will go wide. Parker on the far side. He gets tied up by Zins. Pullman ends up with it back for East Grand Forks.
Penalty coming here on Cathedral, and it did not look good. They ended up calling a cross-check, so it's not going to be 5. But a 5-on-3 coming here with 48 seconds of 5-on-3. And shaken up there a little bit, looked like Landon Parker, but he took a hard hit and it was a cross-check, and he did get the stick horizontal, and that's going to be on number 15, C.J. Zins, the defenseman here. And Coach Palmisano not happy that that was a 2-minute penalty, and I'm going to have to agree with him there. Parker went in fairly much head first into the boards, hard into there, and Palmisano able to see the replay.
Smith lost a stick, so it was kind of 5-on-2.5 there for a moment until he got his stick back as the play continues in the end, and now we'll get a full-length clear. 30 seconds to go in the 5-on-3 for East Grand Forks.
Green Wave got to push this puck up ice, take advantage of this 5-on-3 as much as they can. 24 seconds to go on that 5-on-3.
As Vanish will set up in his own zone. Vanish through neutral ice. He'll gain the offensive zone. Vanish working his way through the corner. What a good job there by Warner to able to be held in by Osmus on the back end. Osmus working his way in. Osmus with a shot saved by Amundsen.
Nice save there, and good job by Osmus. two Cathedral players kind of got reached out onto the boards there, and so opened up a ton of ice for him to walk in. He walked right into the slot there and tried to beat Amundsen low to the blocker's side. And we talked earlier this week as a left-handed shot. That's an excellent shot right there, a tough shot for the goaltender to make. And Osmus tried to beat him there, but Amundsen did a really good job being on top of his crease and swallows it.
As Avery controls the face-off, gets it to Spencer. Osmus getting it down to Pullman as they battle in front as it's poked up to the far side as the first penalty expires. 1:08 to 5-on-4 now. As here's Parker getting it through the corner. As Parker will get it back. Parker working his way through the circle. Parker getting it back down low as they tried to feed Vanish on the back door, but he shot it high, and St. Cloud Cathedral able to clear.
Oh, what a beautiful feed there, and Vanish just missed. Actually, puck went wide, and it looked like maybe hit the official in the knee. He seems okay, thankfully. And we play on with 39 to go on the PP.
As Parker comes in offside, off the full-length clear, so we'll have a neutral zone face-off. 36 seconds to go in the power play. 7:28 in the period. 3-1. St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead.
Oh, yeah, and they're showing the replay there of that look, and Vanish just missed it wide. He had the net, and he was going back across the grain where the goaltender was coming from with that shot. Missed just wide.
As the neutral zone face-off pushed back into the Cathedral zone, where they will get another full-length clear. 28 seconds to go in the power play as Osmus sets up behind his net for East Grand Forks. Osmus out to neutral ice. Loses control of the puck. It just got off, kind of rolled off his stick as it sent down deep into the Crusaders zone, where Bell falls down as well. There's Osmus at the point. Osmus didn't get a lot on his pass. He tried to get it down to Nelson as it's intercepted by the Crusaders. Here they come. 5 seconds in the power play as Warner dumps it down in deep, and that'll do it for the 5-on-3 and the 5-on-4.
Good kill out of the Crusaders. Now we'll see if the Green Wave can build off of the few offensive opportunities they generated on that PP.
Mack working his way into the offensive zone, but he got knocked off the puck. Didn't really get a good shot off, but Mack doing some battling with Zins back on the ice. Mack trying to feed a centering feed through his legs as the battle continues in the far side circle. Schlenk battling down there as well as number 17 Galsted, and back on the Crusaders the other way. They'll send this one down in deep. Brown out of his net. He'll leave it for Vanish. Vanish will have to play it back to Treble on the other side of the net. As Treble's pass will go all the way through, and that'll result in an icing.
6:09 to go here in period number 2 of play. Shots on goal now read 18-11 in favor of the Green Wave, and they've done an excellent job here using those power plays to generate some really good opportunities. Just missed on a couple grade A chances though, and keeps this at a 3-1 hockey game. And Cathedral with only 2 shots so far this period, just about 11 minutes in. They kind of got on their heels a little, and then they had that extended penalty kill with the 2-minute penalty, which turned into a 5-on-3 for 48 seconds. But
we hit the TV timeout here. 6:09 to go here in the second period. I think this game has really settled in. We talked about in the first period, there were a lot of stoppages, not a lot of flow. The second period has been different in that regard, a lot more flow, a lot of end-to-end action, and I think the Green Wave have really done a much better job matching the speed and depth of Cathedral here in the second period.
Yeah, they really have, and it's been fun to watch, actually. Them kind of push back here, and they've generated some opportunities and earned the 2 power plays that they did have, and unfortunate to come up empty on both of those. And going to face off here to the left of Tucker Brown, the goaltender for East Grand Forks. Again, it's 3-1 here, Cathedral.
As Nelson able to play this one around for East Grand Forks. Now gets it out into the neutral zone as it's knocked away from Landon Parker. As Cumming able to control for the Crusaders and brought into the offensive zone by Savoy. Savoy will work his way down into the corner where he gets knocked off the puck. As Nelson able to play this one up to the far side corner. Osmus chips this one ahead for Avery. And then sent back in deep by the Crusaders. As Nelson back in the corner will play it up to the far side. Down here's Parker working his way through the middle into the offensive zone is Landon Parker. Parker will push one well wide of the net off the end board. Here's Jelly. Jelly getting tied up in the corner. As Osmus whiffs on the hold attempt, it'll work its way back out to neutral. Here's Treble with it. Treble will bank it down to the near side, and Parker trying to get it ahead, and here come the Crusaders with Zins into the offensive zone. Almost a great job by Parker to hold him off at the blue line. As Jelly trying to play it, here's a turnover. Here's Bell with a shot that'll go wide off the end board. It'll work its way to the far side where Nate Martin will control centering feed. Sneaks through all the way down to the near side boards. As Beck able to clear for East Grand Forks and then sent right back in by the Crusaders. It'll work its way back around to the near side. Here's Beck with it as play is stopped.
Offside, it looks like. You can hear the official yelling off. So it's going to come outside the Green Wave zone here at the 4:51 mark. The TV timeout here. Excellent crowd here at the Xcel Energy Center. We've got the club level open now and people filing into there, and generally get anywhere from 10 to 12,000 here for the Class A semifinals, and we'll have close to 20,000 here this evening, and some huge fan bases coming in with Eden Prairie, Blaine, Edina, and St. Thomas Academy all coming in here. You got North Metro and West Metro.
Say the lower bowl probably about 70% full now. We've started to see some people start to appear up in the club sections now as well. So yeah, there's a very good reason this tournament is played here at the Xcel Energy Center. Now in 20th season in business already.
And still just first class, beautiful place. We're taken care of so well up here in the press box as well. And just exceptionally well-run building, and they continue to keep it modern and make adjustments and improvements as they need, and just a beautiful rink for hockey, just perfect.
4:51 to go here in the second period. 3-1 St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead. Here's Perbix off the face-off. He'll send a shot. Second chance, then just that one just pushed wide as well.
Oh, it looked like he tipped it out of the air and batted it.
And there's a chance out front. It's loose. They scored! Jack Smith for the second time as he pokes the puck in that had gotten behind Brown. It's 4-1 St. Cloud Cathedral.
Yeah, Brown tried to kind of come out and chase that. Warner put the shot on net, and Brown tried to cover that thing up, and Jack Smith absolutely like a bull in a china shot. Man, was he working hard, and he, couple of whacks at it. He did a good job winning the battle with the East Grand Forks defenseman. He actually got behind Brown and was banging that puck loose, and the puck trickled behind Brown. He buried the rebound, Smith did, and he took a hard hit after the fact, but well worth it as he put his, as you mentioned, second goal of the game in the net. And Brown was stickless on that as well. Palmisano not thrilled with, you know, interesting. I know the puck was there. I think Palmisano wants them to look further at the left pad of Brown. Was kind of pushed by Smith, but regardless, it's a goal, and we're going to play on. 4-1.
4.5 minutes to go now here in the second period. 4-1, the Crusaders with the lead on the second goal of the game by Jack Smith. Smith, who had the beautiful first goal of the game with that turnover generated in the neutral zone, came in all alone on Brown and beat him on the stick side to make it 1-0 at the time. We'll have a neutral zone face-off. 4:24 to go here in the second period. We got the announcement in the press box about the goal.
Yeah, Warner and Perbix on the assist, two excellent players. Warner, the University of Minnesota commit, will be playing for Bob Motzko. Smith, the Minnesota Duluth commit, going up to play for Scott Sandlin.
19-13 now in shots on goal in favor of East Grand Forks. So there's a shot off the face-off in on Brown, who will hold on.
And a nice save there by Brown. Kind of caught him high up on his glove side, and he was able to pin it in his shoulder. And
so I would
4:19 to go here. Go ahead, Pat.
So even though St. Cloud Cathedral is well behind in the shots on goal, I'd say they've really gotten a lot more quality looks. And some, of course, that's what you're driving in on Brown again. If this one swept back out to neutral ice, but really just a lot of really good quality looks. So even though the shots on, as now they are correcting things on the scoreboard, so perhaps this thought was all for naught, as now the shots on goal reads 18-16. There's a shot that's saved. Second chance is still loose, pushed behind the boards, and as the Green Wave trying to get back in this game. 3:45 to go. Here's Cumming as he tried to gain the offensive zone for Cathedral. Loses control of it. Here's Osmus. He'll send a long pass to the far side of the zone, and the centering feed then intercepted. Here's Osmus. He gets it down to Spencer on the near side. Spencer with a shot through traffic that was blocked out front by the Crusaders defense. Will it be held in by Osmus? Rather not. It looked from up here like maybe he did, but I guess they're just going to say that one just got outside the blue line.
Yeah, and actually I think we're going to get a penalty call because the linesman did wave that offside. And yeah, the Green Wave looks like going to the box there is going to be number 14, Cooper Holm. 2 minutes he's going to sit for interference. Kind of a late hit. I don't know, that's a tough one there. I mean, Cathedral defenseman blocked to see his number there, but I think it looked like Zins passed that puck up the wall and chipped it up, and about a second to two after, Holm finishes the check, and he'll sit for 2 minutes on interference.
Bogenholm with it off the face-off in the offensive zone, and it'll be Martin on the far side, whether it was Hiltner as it's cleared out. Yeah, it's all the way down. 3:10 to go in the second period. 4-1, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead. As Smith will set up on the far side boards in his own zone, send a long cross-ice pass that's deflected back into the Crusader zone. Smith back to pick it up. Whether that's Warner as it's taken away. Centering feed, they score! Cole Avery shorthanded out front with the beautiful feed from Parker. And wow!
Oh, an excellent job. Landon Parker just wins the puck battle from C.J. Zins behind the net. And following that puck up to the net was Cole Avery, as you mentioned, and he was ready, stick on the ice, and the left-handed shot caught the feed from his right into that corner, and he caught that feed, made no doubt, buried it just on the left side of the net. Couldn't quite get over there. Noah Amundsen couldn't, as he slid, was low under his blocker. A beautiful shot and a huge goal here on the shorthanded goal. My goodness, that makes it 4-2, gives East Grand Forks a little bit of momentum, and that was the first time all game long, Pat, that we've seen St. Cloud Cathedral be just a little bit lackadaisical and make one little mental mistake, a turnover behind their own net, and East Grand Forks now capitalizes to cut the lead to 4-2.
As Bell controls again deep in his own zone for St. Cloud Cathedral. 2:45 to go in the period, 1:20 in the power play for the Crusaders. Bell at neutral gets it down to Zins on the near side. Zins will send it to the far side circle. At the centering feed trying to set up Savoy, and here come the Green Wave as Parker, rather that's Beck, will send this one down in deep. Crusaders will play it from deep in their own zone once again. Crusaders with Savoy back into the offensive zone. He'll try to work his way around Bonish. He'll kick it back out to the point. Here's Zins. Zins will send it cross ice back to the far side. Now he'll take it back. He's able to hold it in. There's a shot. It's loose out front and able to be poked away. And Parker able to get it back out to neutral. Here's Avery as the play is stopped once again. We're going to get a penalty coming here. That's 1:59 to go in the second period.
Yeah, and I can't tell here if it's a penalty or if it was just played with a high stick. Yeah, they're going to call it a high stick, and they show the replay. The puck definitely got up above the shoulders there of Cole Avery, the goal scorer there for the Green Wave. And face that's going to come to the right of Tucker Brown.
Face-off still loose in the circle, now controlled. There's Bogenholm on the near side. Bogenholm trying to set something up on the far side back door. It's loose next to the net, and now it's laid down to the near side by the Green Wave. Able to be held in on the back door. Smith with it, as the East Grand Forks faithful don't like that one. They thought that was an offside. Still loose out in front of Brown. Now Beck comes away with it for the East Grand Forks Green Wave. Here he comes into the offensive zone. Shorthanded shot. That'll go wide of Amundsen. And we've really seen on this penalty kill, look at how active these and aggressive these Green Wave players have been. And
great kill. They scored a goal, didn't give up a shot.
There's a shot that'll go wide by Martin. Centering feed intercepted by Osmus. Look out. Here come the Green Wave. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Osmus into the offensive zone. Osmus centering feed in front of Amundsen. It's still loose. Still battling for it, and now Amundsen able to get on top of it.
Oh, man, and there is a cluster of players from both teams in there fighting for that loose puck. Excellent rebound there. Ended up cleaning it up, and it looks like Amundsen is okay. He's getting up. There's Zinn's getting out of that. Smith coming up off the ice. Amundsen a little bit slow to get up, but I think he's okay.
Wow, what a rush! And we talked about just how good. Of course, they got the shorthanded goal, and then we saw Carter Beck just take off with that last little rush prior to the power play coming to an end.
Yeah, that was really, really good job by the Green Wave. They've really pushed hard since scoring that goal.
As Vanish tries to control the face-off as the Crusaders bring it back out through neutral ice. It'll be sent in deep by Savoy. Brown out of his net will leave it for Vanish. Vanish up the far side boards. He'll gain the neutral zone. As Vanish gets up into the neutral zone, up in the far side corner, he'll try to circle the net. The centering feed intercepted by Cumming. Chipped out. Is Avery able to hold it in? There's Parker who ends up with it back. Parker will circle. Parker gets it down to the near side treble. Oh, what a move. There's a shot saved by Amundsen. Second chance, still whacking away at it. Ends up being pushed behind the net. 30 seconds to go in the period as Treble unable to hold it in on the back end. It'll be sent back down into the Green Wave zone. 21 seconds to go.
Great save by Amundsen there right on the back door.
Absolutely, as Treble gets this one up ahead toward Beck. Parker will catch up to it. Parker with it now. Parker gets it down to Nelson. Nelson on the near side, circling his way through the corner. Gets it up to Beck behind the net. Beck takes a hit from Savoy. 3 seconds to go in the period. As that'll be how the second period comes to an end. And boy, we saw East Grand Forks with a big late push, and they're right back in this game.
Yeah, they had a really nice job. They got the shorthanded goal, finished the kill strong, really had some good sustained pressure the last 3 minutes of that period in the offensive end of the ice. And 2-goal deficit here, although leading in the shots on goal department 24-17. And so, as you mentioned, we are through 2 periods of play here at XL Energy Center. St. Cloud Cathedral, the number 2 overall seed in the Class A tournament, 4. And East Grand Forks, the 3 seed in the Class A tournament, 2.
So what do you think? What did East Grand Forks start doing differently there in the latter part of that second period that they were winning the puck battles. They were starting, I think, to not only play Cathedral's game, but they were starting to play it just about as well as St. Cloud Cathedral was.
Yeah, they kind of said, we're going to try and play this transition game and do it with a little bit more physicality than you have, is kind of what they were telling Cathedral. And Cathedral's done a good job matching that intensity as well and has had a good period there. But, East Grand Forks really settled in and started establishing how they wanted to play. I think you saw a few of their playmakers played a little bit more that period as time starts to dwindle and you start to think of the importance of getting this game tied and trying to get this game in your favor to try and move on to the Class A state championship. And East Grand Forks did a much better job in front of their net. The only time they really had a lapse on it was the 1 goal that the Cathedral Crusaders scored that period. Other than that, they did a good job cleaning things up. They only gave up 8 shots on net that period, while then putting on net themselves 16 shots. So really good pushback. They did a good job killing penalties. They used their power play to really get some offensive momentum even though they didn't score. Making it a 4-2 hockey game with 14 minutes here left in the intermission.
Yeah, so this is certainly a game that had a lot of twists and turns in. It looked like Cathedral was going to run away with it early, and then East Grand Forks able to push back. And then St. Cloud Cathedral, they pushed a little bit here in the second period. They got that 3-goal lead for the first time in the game, and then the Green Wave again, they pushed back, and they had a really good sequence on that penalty kill. They got the shorthanded goal. We said they were winning those puck battles. They were winning all those hustle plays. They really just started looking like they were finding their footing that were kind of struggling to find through the first period and a half.
Well, I think part of it, too, is just the physicality that the East Grand Forks Green Wave play with. naturally that's going to start wearing the team down just a little bit, and I think you saw that happening where they still are consistently hitting you if you have the puck. So if you're a defenseman and you're going to retrieve it in your own end of the ice, you better make a quick play because you got a Green Wave player coming in to hit you hard. Those repetitive hits and repetitive bumps like that really do some long-term damage, if you will, just making sure that you try and wear the opponent down and do a good job of that. And the Green Wave got a chance to forecheck a lot more pucks that period and allowed a lot more bodies to get onto the Crusaders and helped them push back in this hockey game and really start tilting the ice their way. Now they just got to score a couple more goals and get this thing tied up in the third.
Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul have up to 60% off all merchandise at their Beyond the Pond event. That'll be tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow morning rather, from 10 a.m. to noon. You can follow up. The puck drop of the Class A title game will be right at noon. So check that out. Beyond the Pond event tomorrow at the Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul with up to 60% off all merchandise. Also presented this afternoon by Brew Pub, lots of Matza Pizza with half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. The RJM Construction for all of your arena needs with your building and remodeling. Check out their work at the Tria Rink in the Hopkins Pavilion as Pete Wagner wants to definitely talk about the job that was done with that Tria Rink sitting on top of the parking ramp and just the marvel that they put in to create that structure. The Tria practice rink, also the new Hopkins Pavilion. Will pull no punches about what he says about what he thought of the old Hopkins Pavilion, but they sure did a great job with that. And also tonight brought to you by Tradition Companies. 7 companies and one solution for all of your home building, buying, and wealth management needs at traditionco.com. So we'll flip things around. We got Matt Harrington joining us here in the booth. What do you have for us, Matt?
It's been a great game so far, Patrick. I think you kind of mentioned this earlier, but St. Cloud Cathedral started out this game very strong and, of course, looked like the better team. But I think that second period, even though it may not show on the scoreboard, East Grand Forks was very solid, and they lead in shots right now 24-17, and they've really found their groove in the second period. Absolutely, Matt. So what were your impressions? You were here for the double-A games yesterday, or at least part of the session. There's not the whole day. But what were your thoughts as all 4 of the top seeds advanced, but all of them really pushed to the limit? They really were, and especially I think Eden Prairie, of course, the most. They went to triple overtime against Lakeville South, and I think a lot of fans watching at home kind of thought that Eden Prairie got lucky to get that number 3 seed in the Class AA, and even got luckier when they were playing Lakeville South, who has the worst record out of any of the Class AA teams. But I got to say, Lakeville South looked really good, and of course Henry Welsh in net made over 60 saves in that game, so he was phenomenal and really the only reason why they were able to hang in there that long. But a heck of an effort from the Cougars, no doubt. Absolutely, and Henry Welsh, I think I mentioned my thoughts on that game, that even in the loss, really the player of the game, which, sometimes it's hard to, say the player of the game is a guy whose team didn't win, but really, you face that many shots and you stop all but 3 of them. I mean, that is definitely a player of the game material in my book. And if you look ahead to the semifinals tonight, Blaine against Eden Prairie. And of course, we've mentioned with Nate, a lot of Mr. Hockey candidates will be in action tonight. We'll have Brodzinski and Jensen in the first semifinal, when Jungles and Nevers in the second semifinal. So really, I think you guys had commented that you thought this was the most stacked double-A field that you had seen in a long time. Yeah, it really is. And 5 of the top 10 teams in the state are in this field. And of course, you got Edina at number 1 and Blaine at number 3, I believe. Of course, Minnetonka was eliminated by Holy Family in the section semifinals, but you've got other really high-quality teams, White Bear Lake, who was eliminated yesterday by Blaine. But you just look around, and I mean, this is exactly who you'd expect to be here in the state tournament. So I think we've got a couple of really good games on tap tonight. First one will be the 2-3 matchup between Blaine and Eden Prairie, and I actually had the opportunity to call that game when those 2 teams played earlier in the season a 7-6 win for the Eagles, and Jack Jensen scored the game winner with under 3 seconds to play in regulation. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And then Edina St. Thomas Academy also played in the regular season, 6-2 win for the Hornets there. But St. Thomas Academy hasn't lost a game since that point, and that was in one of the holiday tournaments over the Christmas break. So we're going to have a couple of really good games tonight, Patrick.
Absolutely. Of course, Pete Wagner, who's just kind of hanging out off to our right in one of the press rows right now, just kind of chilling, typing up some of his stories. He'll have the call of that one with Bart this evening, of course. That's a great Pete Wagner and Bart Archer, the greatest team in Minnesota high school hockey.
No doubt about that one.
I think John's coming down tonight, too, isn't he? John Sands?
I believe so. I'll have to double check with him, but we'll see. Always good to see the Sandman around, and helps out with a bunch of our live scoring stuff and post highlight videos. So, I mean, I think we've got a pretty good team assembled here this weekend.
Absolutely. So we really couldn't do it without all of the people that we've had here this week with Pete, Bart, Matt, that being you. We've had John, Todd Mulliken, of course, Nate Olson, and helping me with the color commentary on the single A side of the bracket. We'll have the puck drop still about 7:10 away for the third period. And well, coming up, of course, next we'll have the other semifinal. Will be Matomidi against Greenway.
I think that'll be a good matchup, too.
Absolutely. And Greenway, of course, the game of the day on Wednesday, that thrilling win over Delano. They came back. It was 2-0. It was 3-1. It was 4-3 midway through the third period after Delano retook the lead on the goal by Corey Dunnigan. And Greenway just never went away, and they just kept fighting. They kept pushing. They kept doing what they had to do, and eventually they broke through and they won that game 6-4.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them play tonight. I wasn't able to make any of the Class A quarterfinals on Wednesday, but I'm really excited to get to see Dante Lawson with Greenway, who I think is really one of the most underrated players in the state tournament. As far as I know, he's not committed to playing anywhere next year for college or junior. So I know there's a lot of scouts in attendance here this weekend, and it'll be interesting to see if Lawson maybe gets a couple of offers out of this. But he is most certainly one of the most dynamic players in single A. And you look at Matomidi as well. They've got the Paradise brothers, Tom and Joe Paradise. And actually one of my good friends is first cousins with them. And, of course, the Paradise brothers are the grandkids of legendary head coach Herb Brooks, too. So a lot of hockey history in that family. So very exciting to see them in action. And I think we're going to have a great game this afternoon as well.
Absolutely. As the cheerleaders for East Grand Forks make their way back out onto the ice, still 5.5 minutes left to go. So is this your first tournament that you've been able to attend, Matt, or have you been able to attend in the past?
I have been able to attend in the past. I believe I've been to about 5 or 6 probably growing up. I went to a couple of the semifinal games last year. I went to the championship in 2016, I believe, with Eden Prairie and Wayzata. That was a really good game, which, of course, Wayzata won their first state championship in history. But this is the first tournament that I've been able to work at as a media member. So it's been quite the experience, though, so far.
Absolutely. Myself as well, as I've attended a couple of tournaments in the past, and it's really just a thrill. You know, it's kind of that thing that, you know, you think about as a kid, like, wow, would I really be able to get up in the press box at some point?
Yeah.
Here we are. A lot of amazing things have been possible for all of us here at MN Hockey TV, not just this season, but hopefully going forward as well as last season. So, of course, we've got Matomidi taking on Greenway later. That'll be the second semifinal. Still 4 minutes and 19 seconds to go before puck drop here in the third period. And so if your observations, what do you think this third period could be like? Will we keep seeing East Grand Forks able to continue to make their push back into this game, or do you think Cathedral is going to come out of this second intermission a little bit more juice in the tank?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing to keep in mind, too, is you look at the shots on goal. St. Cloud Cathedral, early on in this game, they were close, but they started to pull away a little bit at the end of the first period. And then in that second period, of course, East Grand Forks leading in shots 24-17 through 2 periods. So I think if you're St. Cloud Cathedral, you'd certainly like to have a strong start to this period and kind of cut that shot deficit down a little bit. But definitely the Crusaders still have the edge. I mean, they're trailing in shots, but the score is really all that matters. And 4-2, they're in a good spot. They've got an insurance goal. I don't feel like they have to come out of the gate super strong in order to win this game, but you'd certainly think that they'd want to have a good start to this period. But if you're East Grand Forks, you just got to keep doing what you've been doing that you did all in the second period, and that was continue to get pucks to the net. They've got some really good looks. Tanner Mack has been really good for the Green Wave, so you got to get your top guys out on the ice early on and set the tone in this third period.
I want to remind you, of course, once again, our wonderful sponsors this afternoon, Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul. 60% off all merchandise tomorrow at their Beyond, up to 60% off. Don't want to forget that caveat. That'll be at the Beyond the Pond event tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon. You can catch the Class A title game following that event. That'll be puck drop, probably about 12:20 will be my assumption there. Presented by Brew Pub, lots of matzo pizza, half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese, and RJM Construction for all of your arena needs, your building and remodeling. Check out their work at the Tria Rink and the Hopkins Pavilion. And Tradition Company, 7 companies, 1 solution for all your home building, buying, and wealth management needs. Traditionco.com.
All right, I'll hand it over to Nate, and you guys can get ready for the second period. But thanks for having me on, Patrick, and best of luck the rest of the way today.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for jumping in with us. That's Matt Harrington, who having a little conversation there here at the second intermission. Now about 1:50 to go here in the intermission as we bring Nate back in. Nate, asked Matt this question while he had stepped out, but going this third period, are we going to be able to see East Grand Forks continue to make that push, or do you think Cathedral is going to come out with a little bit more fire than they had kind of later in that second period?
Yeah, I think East Grand Forks is going to continue to try and build off of that established offensive zone time and pressure that they were getting late in that second period. And St. Cloud Cathedral is going to continue to try and use their transition game, get up the ice with speed, and counteract that and not let the Green Wave be so physical with them. The more they have the puck, the less that they can have to battle for it in the corners and out in front of the net, and so that's going to help alleviate some of the long-term stress of these hits that they're taking from the Green Wave. And, you know, Cathedral has done a pretty good job bouncing back themselves and playing a physical game as well. And so both teams are excellent teams that have adjusted a little bit to each other's play and done a really good job at combating one another. And so the first couple of shifts here, I think, are going to be very important to just see what we get out of these two teams and where that momentum kind of lies. I think if you were going to say that momentum lies with anybody right now, it's East Grand Forks, despite being down 2 goals. But a lot can change when you're dealing with high school kids and they get a break to regroup.
So now about 30 seconds left to go before we're able to resume play as we'll get this third period underway. St. Cloud Cathedral, as we said, leading at 4-2, but East Grand Forks really changing the momentum back onto their side as that second period moved along. They got the shorthanded goal from Avery on the beautiful steal and feed from Parker out front. It was a great play by Parker to take that away behind the net from C.J. Zins, and then he fed Avery streaking in out front to beat Amundsen for that huge second goal.
Yep, the horn sounds here, so Cathedral, as is consistent with how they start every period, are getting some fist bumps down to Noah Amundsen in net. And looks like Warner and Smith are going to stay on the bench, and so Derek Brown's going to go at the second line to start the period. Must want his matchup on the other group there.
As Avery sends this one in deep off the face-off, it'll work its way around the Cathedral net. Back around to the far side. Able to be played in deep by the Green Wave once again, as Avery looking to take it away almost. It'll pop free as Parker unable to hold the zone and now poked back out to neutral ice. As Parker picks it right back up. Parker trying to work his way in. Parker to work his way. He's trying to get through too many bodies, though, as it's sent back out to neutral ice. And the Crusaders able to send it back into the zone as it's sent now back out toward neutral ice. As Warner able to take this one away. Warner in, almost able to work his way through the defense. A good job, though, to poke that puck away from him as he started his move. And now Smith takes it away. Smith into the offensive zone. Smith with a shot wide through the blue. It'll work its way up to the far side corner. Now in the neutral zone once again as treble battles on the far side boards, and St. Cloud Cathedral possesses in their own zone. As Lenzen throws this one all the way through neutral ice. And treble will play it back the other direction. It'll get by back. It'll be held in by the Crusaders. Centering feed towards Savoy. There's Smith on the near side. Smith will send it up to the far side boards. Treble battling once again, trying to clear it out. Able to be held in by Cathedral. Long shot. That'll be saved by Brown. So back around to the near side. Lenzen able to hold once again. And now forced out and back in, so we will have an offside.
Yeah, and they just showed a graphic here that St. Cloud Cathedral this year is 22-0-0 when leading after 2 periods. So the Green Wave have their work cut out for them here in this 3rd period, trailing by a couple of goals. But a 4-2 hockey game, you know, some people like to say it's the most dangerous lead in hockey, you know.
But the faceoff was moved all the way down into the Crusader zone, so likely a hand pass was the call there rather than offsides. It's held in by the Green Wave, a shot that's blocked. Now back the other direction come the Crusaders. Widman gets knocked off the puck as it's sent back out into the neutral zone. And the Crusaders again will set up deep in their own zone with Bell. Bell will reverse direction back up toward the far side as he sends it down to the near side. Here's Bogenholm with it. Bogenholm up the left wing side will send a long pass. That'll sneak through all the way down to the end boards. And I think we've seen the Crusaders have come out with more speed and energy here in this 3rd period than they had kind of at that 2nd period was wearing along. And we were seeing East Grand Forks winning a lot of those puck battles. That kind of been the reverse here in the 3rd period so far.
Yeah, definitely. They've been able to establish their speed and get some pucks deep and go forecheck in the Green Wave and into the ice.
There's play down on the near side boards in the Cathedral zone. There's a long shot by Nelson that'll go well wide. It'll work its way up into the neutral zone. Here comes Cumming into the offensive zone. Cumming with a nice move. Cumming trying to go to the backhand as he slid down to the ice and he sent it wide.
Oh, great opportunity there. A couple of stick handles as he went down. He almost buried it.
As Avery carried it through neutral ice and the Crusaders able to get it back out to neutral ice. Smith in. Smith with a shot wide as he's searching for his hat trick today. He has 2 goals already this afternoon. And there's Osmus from behind his own net. Osmus gets it back out to neutral ice, trying to get this pass ahead for Parker. As Bell able to send it back the other direction along the far side board. Still in the Crusader zone as now it's out. And almost close to a too many men penalty there as the Green Wave are changing. As a stick goes absolutely flying on a hit by Mack in the offensive zone. It's a shot out front. Amundsen makes the save and then just getting tied up on the back door as he tried to corral the rebound. Here comes Warner with speed into the offensive zone. Vanish able to knock him off the puck, and he'll have to play it behind the net. Centering feed for Smith. Rather, that was Perbix, and that was saved by Brown. Sins with a long shot, and that's saved by Brown as well. It'll work its way back up to the far side boards. Here come the Green Wave again into the offensive zone with Jelly centering feed, and Treble unable to slow that one down. He'll send a long shot through the blue out to the near side. As Holm picks it up in the neutral zone for East Grand Forks, he'll send this one in deep. Then it'll be an icing call, and we'll have a offensive zone face-off for the Crusaders with 12:48 to go here in the final period.
And on that opportunity by Avery, really, really good job there by Reed Borgenholm in front of his own net. He helped Amundsen out there. Avery got the first shot on net, and the rebound was loose there, just out of the reach of where Amundsen could get it to it. Borgenholm did a really good job. He tied his man up, and he really won the battle and did not allow Avery to follow that shot up for a rebound attempt on that second opportunity, and so kept this game at a 4-2 St. Cloud Cathedral lead here. 12:48 to go in this 3rd period. Shots on goal are 25-21 in favor of East Grand Forks, despite trailing on that scoreboard.
As we hit the TV timeout, the first of 3 TV timeouts we'll have here in the 3rd period. 4-2 St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead, but really might be the most tenuous 2-goal advantage I've ever seen any team ever have.
Yeah, you know, it's been kind of a weird game in that respect, where Cathedral's done a really good job executing on some opportunities that they've been presented and taking full advantage of those. And so that's been an excellent job for them, taking care of business on the scoreboard side of things. And East Grand Forks just continues to push. Amundsen has made some really big saves on Green Wave offensive opportunities. And so that's how we get to here, 4-2, 12:48 to go. The face-off here going to be to the left of the Green Wave goaltender, Tucker Brown. The crowd really filing in here now as we get close to the 1:30-ish start time for the next game.
As Savoy, I thought he might have been kicked from the face-off circle, just needed a moment to reset himself. As the Green Wave get the face-off back to the point, Zinn's able to hold it in, and he sends a shot wide as the Green Wave play it back around to the near side. Going up ahead toward Avery, and Zinn's able to hold it. It was Lenzen who held it in on the near side there as it works its way now behind the net. Now taken away there, backhand Savoy, he scores! Jackson Savoy on the wraparound makes it 5-2 St. Cloud Cathedral.
Savoy does an excellent job. He picked the puck up behind the Green Wave net, and Tucker Brown likely going to want to have this one back. Savoy brings it out on his backhand and just throws it to the 5-hole, and it kind of squirted through there and absolutely hit the left side of his back of Tucker Brown's pad and trickled in between his legs into the net. And just like that, Savoy gives St. Cloud Cathedral a commanding 5-2 lead.
Well, St. Cloud Cathedral back up by 3 goals, 12:30 to play. Savoy with that wraparound attempt that went off the back pad of Brown. The 20th of the season for Savoy. That'll give them 3 20-goal scorers on the season. Another 4 20-goal scorers with Hiltner, Smith, Perbix, and now Savoy hitting that 20-goal marker here. And Savoy putting the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders up 5-2, and quickly right back into the offensive zone come the Crusaders. There's a shot that's pushed wide as the Green Wave try to get it back out. Jelly couldn't quite handle the pass as it's pushed back into the Crusaders zone. If the Crusaders able to clear it out, we'll go for an icing and a face-off coming back in the Crusader zone with 12:08 to go in the final period.
Yeah, and Hiltner and Talon Lenzen with the assists on Savoy's goal there. So, as we mentioned, a commanding lead now with 12:08 remaining in this game. Cathedral's just been Johnny on the spot. They've taken care of business. Every time they've gotten a real nice opportunity, they put it in the back of the Green Wave net.
As Cathedral controls the face-off coming out of their zone as it's sent in deep by Savoy. It'll bank its way around the net. As Galstead trying to play it up ahead towards Schlenk as it's still loose on the far side board. Spencer will go track it down in the corner in his own zone. He takes a hit behind the net as he got it back off to Schlenk, who will send a long pass down to the near side. It'll work its way deep into the Crusader zone for another icing.
Yeah, that one just kind of missed everybody throughout the neutral zone. Just found its way in between a few Cathedral and a few East Grand Forks players as we go back into the Green Wave end of the ice. 11:41 to go. They can start to feel it a little bit on the Cathedral bench. They can feel the intensity reaching an all-time high here today as time keeps ticking away, and they get just a little bit closer to playing for the Class A state title.
The Green Wave play the face-off around their net, but the Cathedral able to hold it in. Green Wave looking to break back up the other way as Mack took a hit along the far side boards. Mack, though, able to recover. He'll play this one in. It'll work its way all the way back around to the near side corner in the St. Cloud Cathedral zone. Battle ensues with Poolman and Smith on the near side in the corner. They're able to come out with a long shot by Nelson, snagged with the glove by Amundsen. We'll have an offensive zone face-off for East Grand Forks. 11:08 to go in regulation.
Yeah, had a big opportunity here to win a draw and make some offense happen off of that face-off. East Grand Forks going to have to take advantage of all these opportunities. Just start to sustain some offensive pressure and really start pushing as they try and dig themselves out of this 3-goal deficit.
The face-off to the left of Amundsen, controlled by Bell for Cathedral, who will send it out into the neutral zone. With a nice bank pass ahead is into the offensive zone. Here they come. Smith trying to get it to Bogenholm, who had come in with him and rapidly back the other direction. Here's Jelly. Jelly with a shot that hit the post.
Oh, what a rocket. Just hit the post. Might have hit 2 pipes.
And Warner will take that bounce into the offensive. So Warner, what a move. Warner sends a shot wide. Up into the far side corner as the Green Wave attempt to clear. They'll get it down to Parker in the neutral zone. Parker into the offensive zone as he's forced down to the near side boards as he dumps it in deep as Schlenk battling, trying to catch up with that one, and we picked up by Hiltner. Hiltner will get it down to the near side as Savoy sends this one in deep. Brown out of his net, trying to play it back the other direction to the front of the uncharging Jackson Savoy, who had that wraparound goal just a moment ago that gave the Crusaders a 5-2 lead. This play now in the neutral zone. Hiltner will send it back deep into his own zone. Long pass down to the near side as trying to send it back the other way was Holm. The battle along the near side boards, and out with it come the Crusaders. It's sent up to the far side in front of the Crusader bench, and the puck now sent in deep by East Grand Forks, and the Crusaders look to break up from behind their own net, sent out into the neutral zone, and now taken away as that one slid off the stick of Martin as the Green Wave able to get it back deep into their offensive zone. It's behind the net. Zins for Cathedral will try to pick it up. We'll try to flip this one out into the neutral zone as the East Grand Forks will reset there and then send in deep. Amundsen will chip this one down. It was taken away by Avery. Avery tried to center it, but it was intercepted and now brought back the other way by St. Cloud Cathedral. Now once again, East Grand Forks resets in the neutral zone. They'll play it in deep, picked up in the corner by Lenzen. Lenzen will throw this one ahead into the neutral zone for Martin. Martin will send this one in deep. Brown slows that puck down as the Green Wave got it back out to neutral ice. Now send back in deep to the Green Wave zone where Osmus circles his net. Osmus gets a pass off up ahead and into the offensive zone come the Green Wave, but it's sent right back out. Nice job by Bell. Bell sent that one right back the other direction. Back through the neutral zone come the Green Wave. That'll be an icing and a face-off deep in the East Grand Forks zone. 8:34 to go here in the final period.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that eluded everybody in the neutral zone. It seemed like it was a couple of Cathedral players and one East Grand Forks player there where it would have tipped off of them and alleviated that icing, but nonetheless, we're going to face off back in that East Grand Forks zone, and Cathedral has really tightened things up, done a really good job. Defensemen are staying home now, clogging up some passing lanes and taking care of business in front of their own net, and only giving up 3 shots on net this period to the Green Wave, and we're almost exactly halfway through here at the 8:26 mark. So
St. Cloud Cathedral leading at 5-2 here with, you said, almost half a period left to go, and now time is very rapidly becoming the enemy for East Grand Forks.
Yeah, definitely here, and they've got to start putting pucks on net and start hoping that they can get some success and get a few goals here. They really got to get at least one more here, I think, before the 5-minute mark to really start making a push. And, you know, crazy things have happened. Hockey's a beautiful game, and part of that includes the crazy comebacks and the things like that. And so Derek Brown and his staff are down there making sure the Crusaders continue to push on, and they know that they're 8:34 away from giving themselves a shot at attaining their goal that they've set since day one. So
the face-off coming deep in the East Grand Forks zone to the right of Brown. And Smith wins the face-off. Perfect control as he gets it back to Bogenholm at the blue line. Bogenholm's shot steered aside by Brown. Spencer with it for East Grand Forks, gets it out to neutral zone. Bogenholm slows it down, sends it right back in. 8:20 to go now in regulation as it's behind the East Grand Forks net. Looking to break out the other direction up the near side. Here's Vanish into the offensive zone. Vanish will have it circle the net. As play is stopped. They might have a penalty coming here with 8:09 to go.
Yeah, let's see here. Doesn't look like we are going to have a penalty. It looks like Perbix is heading to the box for a hook. And so we talked about the need to get East Grand Forks on the board here soon, probably before that 5-minute mark. An excellent opportunity here now as they go on the power play where they're 1 for 3 and have had some opportunities.
Spencer controls the face-off for East Grand Forks. One-time blast goes wide. Able to hold the zone on the back end of Spencer as he gets it to Mack. Mack with a shot, rebound, second chance. That one saved as well. Jelly's shot was blocked. As Mack with the great one-time look. Spencer able to hold again. Thought about the one-timer, but the pass not quite there. Spencer Back to Mack on the near side. Mack with a shot, and that was blocked out front as Beck had moved his way into the middle to try to redirect that one, and it'll be a full-length clear for St. Cloud Cathedral.
Yeah, a couple of long shot opportunities, nothing too good there.
7.5 minutes to play in regulation. 5-2, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead as Parker with a shot that's saved by Amundsen and held on to.
And a nice job there by Amundsen, staying cool and calm, making easy save there on the glove hand, staying under control. 7:24 remaining, a minute 15 on this Green Wave power play.
As East Grand Forks able to control the face-off. Osmus with a long shot again, saved by Amundsen.
Yeah, and that one right there, Mason Pullman right out in front trying to get a tip on that. And if he did, it was marginal tip at best. Amundsen swallowed up.
7:19 to go. Offensive zone face-off once again for East Grand Forks, and again they win the face-off. Osmus get to Parker on the near side boards. Parker gets it back to Osmus up high. Far side circle, there's a shot that'll go wide. Unable to get the stick on that one was Pullman as he was trying to catch up to that one. As the Green Wave able to hold the zone, it'll work its way behind the net down to the near side corner. As Parker tried to get this one ahead, and here comes Smith, short-handed into the offensive zone. Smith with a shot saved by Brown, who will gather it in and hold on.
Yeah, nice job there by Smith. Dennis taking the shot that he was given. The East Grand Forks defenseman took away the shooting lane or the passing lane to the back door there, and looked like he wanted to get Ethan coming down on a 2-on-1, but wasn't able to get that puck there, so settles for a nice shot on net. A good save by Brown, swallowing it up. Face off to his right.
The face-off plays all the way back around to the far side. East Grand Forks able to get it back out to neutral ice. Parker doing a good job of gathering that puck in as he tries to get one down to Jelly on the near side. Able to be cleared back through by by St. Cloud Cathedral as Bonish back to pick it up for East Grand Forks behind his own net. As Bonish will carry it into the neutral zone, he'll play it down in deep off the end boards. It'll work its way in on Amundsen, who will gather up the carom and will have an offensive zone face-off for the Green Wave. 6:27 to go in regulation. 5-2, St. Cloud Cathedral leading.
Yeah, kind of an odd bounce there off the end wall. And came out and controlled by Amundsen. Smart play by him, especially in a 5-2 game there. No need for any funny business. Puck's bouncing around in front of his net. Just face it off.
Is Beck able to win the face-off? A shot off the face-off that was saved by Amundsen up into the netting. It was Josh Nelson who let that shot rip.
Yeah, Nelson, that was a nice shot there. He tried beating Amundsen high to the blocker side. Amundsen right there with the blocker, punches it into the protective netting.
It's Beck and Smith again as Beck again wins the face-off. St. Cloud Cathedral looking to get an important clear here. Is not a kind of a soft shot by Osmus that was saved by Amundsen as they try to spring Warner on the back door. Power play comes to an end and the Crusaders back at full strength. 6:07 to go in regulation. 5-2, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead. There's a shot saved by Amundsen that might have been blocked initially, actually. As the Crusaders able to get it back out to neutral ice. Here's Warner in. Warner working his way around. Warner shoots one wide. Second chance. What a save by Brown.
Warner, just electric player. A couple of nice stick handles there.
Back into the offensive zone. Here's Osmus. Osmus, what a move, but he has the puck knocked away from him. Trailer shot, that'll go wide as that was Schlenk who had worked his way through the slot to follow up on that one. As the Crusaders get it back out to neutral, but then the Green Wave able to send it right back in deep. 5:23 to go now in regulation. It's 5-2, St. Cloud Cathedral leading, just 5:18 away from a berth in tomorrow's tournament final. A 3-goal lead.
Yeah, shots on goal now 32-24 in favor of the Green Wave. It's go time if you're Tyler Palmisano's bunch. They got to get goals here, and it's got to start in a hurry now as they start staring down the barrel here. 5:18 to go. The loser of this game, we should mention, will play in the third place game tomorrow in the Class A here at 9 o'clock at XL Energy Center tomorrow morning. And what could be a snowy championship Saturday here at the X in St. Paul and across the state of Minnesota. And we're pretty used to the snow at this point in the year, I guess. It just keeps coming and huge doses, so get your snowblowers and your shovels ready, folks, because we're having another one here coming tomorrow, and sounds like again next week. So just state hockey tournament usually comes along with a snowstorm, and holding true to serve there, we're going to get one.
Well, problem is this time they said we're going to get the heavy, wet stuff, not the light, fluffy stuff that you want to throw at everybody else.
There you go.
So we're going to get a offensive zone face-off coming out of the TV timeout for East Grand Forks. 5:18 to go in regulation, 5-2. The Crusaders leading here as it's loose now in the circle. Vanish gets it up ahead for Jelly. Jelly trying to work his way around Bogan, only gets it back to Vanish as it's taken away by Warner, who slipped a little bit. He tried to send a pass into the middle for Savoy. Is diving on that one. Is Brown will have an offensive zone face-off for St. Cloud Cathedral with 5:05 to go.
Yeah, almost sprung a 2-on-1 there for Cathedral. Warner kind of tripped on himself a little bit and slowed up the speed of their 2-on-1, or that could have been a golden opportunity for the Crusaders. 5:05 to go here in this third period.
Savoy against Beck in the face-off circle. The Green Wave play it around to the near side around their net. Jelly gets it out to neutral ice. It's tipped around in the neutral zone, now pushed into the St. Cloud Cathedral zone, where Bell able to bring a pass into the offensive zone. There's a shot off the post. That was Savoy. Follow-up by Cumming. Saved by Brown.
Oh, Savoy just rang the right post there, and Tucker Brown's best friend to his left in net. And beautiful shot there. He had an opportunity, got a little space as he kind of cut just in between the face-off dot and the slot, right in the house, and just a great shot that just missed. As Tucker Brown would tell us, it's all he gave him.
The face-off pushed down to the near side. Osmus controls to play it around his net, send it down back up to the near side as Avery plays this one through the neutral zone. It'll work its way down into the near side corner as Mack will push this one up to the corner as he's got Lenz in there with him. As Lenzen eventually comes out with the puck, he gets this one up ahead into the neutral zone. Come the Crusaders. They'll just dump this one down in deep. Content to run some of that clock off. 4:16 to go in regulation. 5-2, St. Cloud Cathedral with the lead.
Tucker Brown getting high in his slot here, looking like he may be ready to head to the bench shortly.
To go under the 13-minute mark here of the final period as it's been off the stick of Hiltner down into the zone. Rather, that's Widman as it's sent back the other direction. Widman battling around behind the net in the corner as it's sent up into the corner past Osmus. Bell trying to get to it first ahead of Beck. And it's back behind the net, and the Green Wave with Anderson will look to set up. Rather, that's Nelson. Chip back out to neutral ice, and of course every second that runs off setting up, and that's a second that they need to try to get into the offensive zones. About to go under 3.5 minutes to play.
Yep, Brown just went to the bench here, so empty net in the Green Wave end of the ice. Extra attacker on.
As Cathedral controls, as Widman takes a shot. There's a long shot toward the empty net that'll go wide, and it'll result in an icing.
I know kids' eyes get big, and they want to put a goal in here at the state tournament, seal the deal. And Coach Brown not very happy with that ice attempt there from Reed Bolgenholm, who iced that puck from his own blue line towards the net. And face-off now in the Cathedral end of the ice. Bigger deal when it's a one-goal game. That 3-goal lead at least, it's not quite as deadly, but now an offensive zone draw.
Zins controls the face-off and now taken back by the Green Wave deep in their own offensive zone. Matt gets it toward Fonish. Now Beck will take a bad angle shot that'll go behind the net. Spencer on the far side. Goes back toward Jelly as it's taken away by Smith. Smith with it in the far side corner. He'll chip this one ahead. Now banked out back into the neutral zone. Avery able to catch up to it there as Avery will play it back towards Spencer. Pass through the neutral zone. Into the offensive zone. Back come the Green Wave. 2:48 to go in regulation. They trail 5-2. Empty net for East Grand Forks. Centering feed out front. Amundsen makes the save on that shot.
Beautiful save there and a nice quick one-timer.
As the Crusaders able to get it back out to neutral ice. Here's Perbix. Perbix toward the empty net. He scores! Blake Perbix, empty net goal. That's his first goal of the tournament. St. Cloud Cathedral leads it by 4 with 2:30 to play at 6-2.
And the Crusaders are now going to seal the deal there and Nice job getting the puck up the half wall up to Perbix, and it was a nice little chip there. And just like that, he was able to finesse that puck into the empty cage. And so East Grand Forks is going to move on tomorrow to play in the third place game against the loser of our next game, Matamita and Greenway. And St. Cloud Cathedral is going to be 51 minutes away from a state championship, which they'll play tomorrow at noon.
Well, for St. Cloud Cathedral, they lead at 6-2. They were challenged a little bit in that second period. It was a great job by East Grand Forks to really battle their way back into this game when it looked like St. Cloud Cathedral might run away with it a little bit. They led it 2-0. They led 4-1, and then here in the third period, able to regain control of this game. And as the puck moves back down into the Cathedral zone, as Anderson sends it in deep for East Grand Forks. Amundsen out of his net. The Crusaders more than content just to set things up here. Run some clock, 1:40 to go, 6-2 they lead it. It's back through the neutral zone, this one ahead for Martin. As Treble trying to send it back the other direction for East Grand Forks. It'll end up on the far side boards. Poolman able to get it back out to neutral. 1:25 to go. Here's Zins in his own zone with it for St. Cloud Cathedral. We'll send a pass over to Schmidt on the near side. Schmidt will send this one out through neutral ice. That one just out ahead of Cumming. 1:12 to go. As Treble sends it the other way for East Grand Forks into the Crusader zone. And again, the Crusaders will just patiently set up behind their own net. So under a minute to play. Spencer trying to hold this one in. Here's a long shot from Jelly that'll be saved by Amundsen with the glove. It'll come down to the near side as it works its way back into the center of the ice. The battle ensues in the corner with Zins and a couple of East Grand Forks players. Who's Beck and Mack. Yes, coming down there as well. Matt comes out of the scrum with the puck as he tries to get it back to the point. Spencer with a turnaround shot that's intercepted. Flipped back out through neutral by the Crusaders. We'll go for an icing and an offensive zone face-off coming for East Grand Forks. 28 seconds exactly to go. 6-2, St. Cloud Cathedral leading.
Yep, shots on goal, 34-26 in favor of East Grand Forks, despite trailing on the scoreboard 6-2, as you mentioned. And we're all but wrapped up here with 28 seconds to go. And I know it's a tough spot for the Green Wave right now. They probably kind of feel like the season's over and it's all really a travesty and a tough day, but they get one more opportunity to go out as a group tomorrow and play at the X and go and try and win one more time together. And they'll be playing on the last day of hockey in Minnesota for the 2018-19 season. So a heck of a lot for the Green Wave and Coach Paul Masano to be proud of. They've got some young, talented players that are going to try and continue to get back here, and future very, very bright for Coach Paul Masano and his staff. And longtime assistant Scott Oliver, excellent hockey coach.
The face-off in the Cathedral zone, 9.3 to go. There's a shot that'll be stopped by Amundsen. Rebound turned aside, shot blocked. As the game comes to an end, St. Cloud Cathedral is on to the title game. They beat East Grand Forks by a score of 6-2 this afternoon. A great performance by the Crusaders. They got all that production from a lot of different players. They were able to withstand that rush in the second period from the Green Wave, and they will play for the Class A championship tomorrow. Their first championship appearance. A lot of people expected them to be there on Saturday afternoon, and now they will.
Yep, this has been their goal as the whole season's unfolded. This was the team that they believed would be the one that could bring them their first state championship here, and they're well on their way. They've positioned themselves extremely well now, and they sit 51 minutes away tomorrow at noon here at XL Energy Center and on mnhockey.tv from making that dream a reality. And so Coach Brown and his staff have done an excellent job. The players executing very, very well here and took control of this game fairly early and relinquished it at times, but ultimately Noah Amundsen was there when the Cathedral Crusaders needed him. And despite being outshot 35-26, Cathedral, as we mentioned, will be playing for the Class A state title tomorrow at noon.
Final score once again in our first semifinal game, St. Cloud Cathedral 6 and East Grand Forks 2. So St. Cloud Cathedral moves on to the championship game tomorrow afternoon, and they will await the winner of Greenway against Matamidi, which will be coming up in about a half hour to 35 minutes from now. So for Matt and Nate, this is Patrick signing off for now, but we will be right back in a little bit.